We're live. We are live. Hopefully I did that right. Welcome back, everybody. Live over here on this thing. Yeah, I'm live. Biscuit's here, dude.
Hey.
What? I can hear you loud and clear. My first actual glitch. Unexplainable. What the fuck was that, man?
No idea.
Dude, the live chat from StreamYard was asking me if I had added people to the stream. I'm like, yeah, I've added people to the stream. They're all sitting on screen right now, you know? And his explanation was that it was the browser. So hopefully the guys can find this.
It's a strange one that will never be explained.
Mm-hmm. Totally odd. Just something didn't click.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go ahead and put a link to this out there somehow. Just take 2 seconds. Somebody's already clicking in. We're getting people. People are back. All right, Aphid found it. All right. Hey, buddy.
Man, that I didn't want to say it because you guys were all here, but that last place we were just in stank real bad anyway. So I'm glad you redid it.
Laser dance in the house.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
We're back to where we were.
Oh,
well,
all right.
we still
Right
need
on.
people in chat.
Exactly. We got 4 people. Well, that sucked because I lost everybody, but it didn't seem to be able to. I couldn't seem to get it. All the simple fixes, the tabs, the mutes, the wrong audio, I've occasionally had the audio input and output set to the microphone. Obviously, that's not going to work, but a quick fix on that one. But what the kicker is, there's a test screen for StreamYard. You click on test audio, and I had no audio coming from StreamYard. And then this time when I recreated the new show, I clicked on that audio test stream, and I had the audio test music right away. So that's something I never do before a pub is I test the microphone, but I don't test the incoming audio to my headphones. So lesson learned, you know.
Well, I guess it'll happen every once in a great while. Something will break
Yeah.
and
There's
restart.
just sometimes there's just glitches with the whole setup because you're not the only one that I've been around where they had to restart the stream because something was going wrong.
Yeah, you're right. It did happen to Hayden on more than one occasion. He had Graham to blame, which was always great.
Well, they had a little bit different situation going on over there. They had serious studio equipment and sound levels.
Yeah.
And a staff, a
equipment
powder guy.
They had more glitches than bitches, that's for sure.
They had more
Studio
technology
lights.
to go wrong.
Yeah.
They had studio lights and different computers tapped in.
They had those TVs at the back that sometimes weren't set up right.
Yeah. They had a great setup. And recently on my YouTube algorithm came through, it was titled Last Lockdown Live, and it was Hayden and all of us. And it was, 2 years ago or something like that. And here
Yeah,
she
it's been a long
is.
time.
Hi, Anna.
Hey. Yeah, Anna.
Cheers. Hi, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, great.
I could see you before, Anna, but without being able to hear what you were saying, I just thought it was a little too risky to have you on there and just go.
No loss. Anyway, but thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
Yeah, no problem. Right on. Welcome. A little Pilsner Urkel tonight.
Yes.
I've had that before. That's
Speaking of
popular.
He apparently finished filming Kara.
A full-length movie?
I don't know if it was full length, but he said he finished the filming part. I think he still has lots of production to do.
Okay. Yeah, he said it's finished filming except for some scenes coming from Scotland.
Oh, that's right, from Scotland, yeah.
It looks interesting. He's got that James Dreyfus character who seemed pretty good. He was in the most recent short film that Hayden made.
Yep.
He was good. Well, both those guys I thought were really good. I like that thing. I like just mention it, I can brings back up memories of watching it. It was good.
The most recent one, Lips.
Yeah, the Lips.
That's
That
right,
was
yeah.
good.
I was going to call it Teeth then.
Yeah, close.
That's a totally different film, isn't it?
It was funky, and he was a good actor. I thought the part with, without giving it too much away, I thought the part with the sun-dried tomatoes was a little odd. But,
Yeah, but the whole premise of it, I thought
it was cool.
Was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely different from the first two.
It wasn't like I felt like I was like with some things like that people or they do something and you're almost forced to participate. You're forced to watch it or forced to listen to it. I didn't feel like that. I felt like I wanted to watch it through. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think Hayden was the writer for Lips. Who wrote? Do you know who wrote Kara? I don't know who wrote it.
I feel like that. What's that one guy's name that he was
Daz.
part of? Yes,
Daz Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daz is cool. Yeah, I recommend following him on Twitter. He's a great follow.
Is he? Because I need somebody to follow.
Do you follow me?
I think so.
I don't really post anything.
No, I do. Yeah, because I would get the that was the only thing I would go there to Twitter for was to get the link and everything.
How about you? You follow Last Dance on occasion when he's not on vacation.
No, yeah.
He's got
I
some
do,
good
but
stuff.
when I open up my Twitter, there's never anything that keeps my attention. I just go like for private talking with somebody or something, or I used to post on there, but I still didn't really read much. I only follow like a handful of people, so they always throw me like right-wing extremists because all my friends are right-wing extremists.
Are they really?
And I don't want that. Yeah, like seriously, like several times throughout the day, especially that Donald Trump Jr. They throw me Donald Trump Jr. tweets, probably because I commented to Donald Trump. So that was my only activity. So they think that I must really want to know what Donald Trump Jr. has to say.
Just mute them. That's what you do. That's
Yeah,
what I
should.
do. I think I have him muted as well.
It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I get her a lot too.
Did I mute her? I think I might have muted her.
But I would like if it was interesting. I'm sure there's interesting stuff, but I've never got into Twitter. It was just another thing that came up where I could keep in touch with Hayden and you guys and certain people because LiveLeak was dying at the time, so you had to grab onto any connection you still had or they were gone forever. Like Gort, I'll never see that dude again. How am I going to come in contact with him? And I had a pretty good relationship with him.
When I first saw
McGrandy,
McGrand, I thought it was Gort Evans. I was like, whoa. But then I was like, no, it's not the same guy. But they kind of have similar looks, superficially at least, like thin faces, whatever,
Right.
And I recognized them both from LiveLeak. It's kind of like a Melanie Griffith, Meg Ryan thing where you can kind of get them fucked up in your head, even though they're different people. Or there's a couple actors that are like that. So, yeah, those two. Hopefully McGrand finds us here. I mean...
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. Hey, Cup of Tea has a little old LiveLeak dirt here. He hated you, is that right, Ethan?
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, to be honest, Gort was kind of like if there was something happening or something, we would talk to more I would reach out to him. He wasn't really reaching out to me. But because certain things would happen and I'd want his opinion on or whatever, He would give it. He was a good guy.
Such as what things would you desire his opinion on? Like personal stuff or more?
No. It was mostly like certain users that
Gotcha.
I knew something was up or they were, kind of creepy to me
John
in some
1054 going crazy.
I'm sure we talked about him when that whole thing went down. That's a perfect example.
Nuke a gay whale.
Yeah, he was definitely brought up.
I wonder what his username is on Twitter.
Nuka Gay Whale?
Yeah.
I had it. You were friends with him.
I
thought at one point. It was like It had something about Whale and Nuke in it, so you knew it was him. It was
Oh.
different though.
Let's see. Maybe.
Well, on that new website, chaotic.com, have you guys checked it out at all?
Well, I don't think that's. Are you sure that's new? I mean, I feel like that's been around forever.
I don't know. New to me, like, you know.
Is it like CHAITIC or something like
K-A.
that?
K-A.
KA. Something I know. There's some, that's the. Yeah.
You spelt it the right way.
You're right. You're right.
They spelled it.
They spelled some goofy way, and I spelled
Exactly.
it the right way.
So, Anna, if you're looking for like an old like site like LiveLeak or what was the other one you mentioned, Leaked Reality,
She was on there.
Yeah,
She made
Chaotic
those.
has kind of stepped up in line in the progression, I guess you could say.
Okay, I'll look at it. I just don't want to be that much on social media, but I can look at it.
It's a lot of gore. There's some
Is
porn
this a form of
mixed in.
social media? Anna?
I don't know. Internet. Whatever.
It's just videos.
Yeah.
Hey, look who
Okay.
it is. Gerald Thompson. All right. Hi, Jerry.
He's up late tonight. Just like
Sir.
Biscuit.
Biscuit, what
And
was the
me.
drink of choice tonight, dude?
Some Guinness.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Only
Smokesteve, I think you-
calories.
Yes, sir.
You missed the point where Biscuit Vapes wanted to talk about his sex life now that it's back, and then
I heard.
turned around and said, "No, I don't kiss and tell," but he brought it up.
Hey, I just said it's back.
It's
that's
like-
all.
It's like if you hold a bag of candy in front of some little kid and you're like, "Look, look."
You can't have it.
Are you currently having sex with a human female?
Yes.
Oh my God, this guy. Playa. All right. Cool.
That's
And
better
it's
than
friends
anybody
with-
else here.
It's friends with benefits, not a relationship, because I can't be dealing with that shit.
Good for you, man.
There's no
Glad to
such
hear.
thing.
What,
Is that the-
relationships? I agree.
No, friends with benefits.
That only lasts so long, and then you got to pay, eventually you got to pay for them benefits.
Exactly.
No.
You're in a relationship whether you know it or
Yeah.
not.
That's right.
If she tries that shit, then she's getting the boot, because I'm not into that. Not at this moment in time.
Cool. Good man. Does she know what you're up to here? Does she know about this sort of like?
Hope not.
Yeah, she knows I do a stream every Saturday night, but she doesn't know where or what.
Cool.
Now, don't forget, all your words are saved for posterity. So be careful what you say, thinking nobody
Yeah,
will ever see it.
I'm not gonna say anything that incriminates.
There is not a definitive list of anything live going on YouTube at any time. Like when you click on the live thing over on the search bar, I don't know if you guys ever have, it gives you like 10 really popular live streams, but people like mine or any other average Joe who are running some bullshit little thing here, you're never going to get found unless it's
No.
a random shit. That guy Scum TV who was on a few weeks ago, I don't know how he found it. I should have asked him, but I think every once in a while shit like that'll pop up on other people's streams, but it's so rare because they don't make money off of it, so that's their bottom line, obviously, right?
Yeah, but you could go looking for it, and unless you typed in Smokesteve or Pub with live switched on, you're not going to find it.
No.
Right, but I'm just saying people like if somebody wanted to go through a list of live streams and scroll through it, that doesn't exist for smaller level live streams. You have to enter.
No, because last
the name.
Saturday, because I was looking, I was like, I wonder what else is going on right now. So I, because I never look, because I get my fix from you, Smokesteve.
Right.
You're the hostess with the mostest.
Thanks, buddy.
But no, last Saturday, so I went through and I tried. I searched live and clicked all these. I switched the live because you can on your search you can search for only things that are live. I went show, call in. I went through everything. I found one show that was kind of interesting. It was a bunch of like based Welshman types that are consumed with their thought of how things should be, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
like I like to live life. You know what I'm saying? But his focus, which is fine, there needs to be people like that. There's people that are just focused in on, you know, right and wrong in their point of mind. And this was like a panel of 6 different. Everybody had a totally different opinion, and they had a topic. It wasn't a call. Well, actually, it was at the very end. They let people call in, but for the most part, it was just like 6, 7 people. Or actually, I think it was 9. It was like the Brady Bunch of based Welshmans.
Right. And he wasn't involved, huh?
No, it was all Americans. I think for the most. No, there was some guy that was like, he seemed like like a year. What's the like down from Russia, kind of like Syria, but then also kind of like German, like that middle ground area, you know.
How did you mix it together? Syria is not near
I don't know,
Russia
like,
at all.
but like dark complected, but kind of Russian talking. Like
Chechnya?
Yugoslavia, maybe. Yeah, Chechnya, that area.
Okay.
The Caucasus.
Yeah.
They had a guy that was like that.
They're called Caucasians.
Americans and
Well, I know, but there's a group that, you know, there's like an area of.
Go look
there.
at a map and stop kind of describe
Exactly. Well, he said like Chechnya, that type of area.
it. Okay.
Chechnya is not a country. It's a part of Russia, though.
Well, hey, look, I'm American, all right? I don't need to know these things, all right?
I don't know.
Chechnya.
I know that.
Chechnya is, as far as I'm concerned, a continent.
Remember back in
Leave me
And the
alone.
city.
Remember back in the day when the terrorists hijacked and took Moscow movie theater hostage
Sure do.
people?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Those were Chechnyan separatists.
Chechen.
And,
There you go.
Chechen. Shiapets. I don't know what they were.
Terrorists. They were terrorists.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
But that shit was heavy duty, and they that was rough, man. They were setting off grenades of innocent people, blowing them up. But they are in a way, are they like the IRA with Ireland and the UK back in the 80s? You know, the Troubles or whatever, similar sort of thing, but on a bigger scale, I guess you could say, right?
I guess I don't. It's a little more complicated, but in some ways, it is very similar.
Right. But they're Muslim, and
That's
it
part
is
of
known
the difference.
on a world scale, perception of brown people and Muslim people is different. How people perceive white people, and you know, I think that's just a fact. You know.
Yep.
You know, true.
Lebanon, those people are kind of Lebanese. The Lebanese people I know, they seem kind of like dark complected Russian talking people.
Russian talking.
Lebanon.
They
Why
do.
Russians?
The Lebanese people I know, like
Speak Arabic.
they speak Russia and that language, whatever Lebanese people speak.
Are you talking
No,
about
because-
Libyan or
Arabic?
Lebanon? Libya or Lebanon?
Lebanon. Lebanon. What's that in? What's that in?
They speak Arabic.
Lebanon
Arabic.
is on the border with
Yes.
Israel and Syria.
What
Yes.
the fuck?
What's the main city in Lebanon? It got
Beirut.
Are you thinking of Aleppo in Syria?
no. I'm not thinking of Lebanon. I'm not thinking of Lebanon.
I think you're thinking of
Hold on.
Libya.
Well, there's
Well-
a little country surrounded by all that area, and they're kind of like
Georgia.
off to them. No, come on.
Don't
Tbilisi.
look at the
Whatever,
map.
fuck it.
Stop
I'm
blabbing.
looking at a
Armenia?
map. No.
Oh, this is great. Let's keep trying to guess the country.
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Lebanon,
It's
yeah.
not Lebanon. Lebanon's
Lebanya.
not near to Russia.
Let's guess the country game here.
I don't even know where the globe is so big. Who knew?
It's either Lebanya or Georgistan.
Do you have a book, or are you looking at the?
I know
internet?
that they're surrounded.
He's looking
by
at his
Syria.
phone at the world.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work. It's a
I'm
little-
down by Puerto Rico. How did that happen? Do I get this upside down? Oh, that will help.
Christ.
I had it upside down. Like, what is this?
Oh,
Mars?
okay.
How about when Trump was tossing out paper towels like he was shooting 3-pointers after the hurricanes in Puerto Rico?
Right.
You posted the link to that recently on
Yeah.
the Discord, Afen.
Well, because somebody was like, oh yeah, it was that one dude. He was like bragging about how Trump was doing all kinds of good things for those poor people in Ohio suffering that train wreck.
He bought
Like,
he bought McDonald's
Like he
and
should
gave
be-
out MAGA hats.
yeah, we should be all thanking him for that.
That link I put on the Discord of him answering the reporter about why does he keep referring to the coronavirus as the China virus was a hilarious burn from him because it came from China. China. I mean, he's right. Is it offensive to call it the China virus? Are you
No.
offended?
It's speaking facts.
Some might
It's a
say
vi-
it's
it's a-
xenophobic, I guess.
It's a virus that originated in China. What's untrue about it?
This is true. There are a few other viruses that are named after the places that they came out of. So
Yep.
it's not as though it's unheard of. Now, people who, just to be clear, people who go around and attack Chinese people because they think that that's going to somehow,
That's xenophobic.
that's horrendous. That's not at all what we're talking about here. I don't want people to.
But naming a virus from the country it originates it might offend some people, but
You're. I'm having a
At
little
the end
trouble
of the-
hearing you, Biscuit.
sorry, I'm a bit far from the microphone.
Yeah, there
Me
you
too.
go.
Okay. Well, it could have just been me.
Dude's got no
it might-
energy. He's spent from all the sex.
Yeah.
I am aching.
All that
over,
sweating.
but that's beside the point. I've had 1.5 cans of Guinness, and it's hitting me a lot.
By the way, just to clear it up, it was Beirut, Lebanon. So I was right. But anyway, I knew these Lebanese people, and they stuck together because it was this business that I dealt with, and they people would come in and out, that were family or friends or whatever they were from over there in that part of the world, and they spoke Russian. A lot of them spoke Russian.
But then they
Alright.
cannot be Lebanese. Lebanese speak Arabic, not Russian. So they
Well,
are
why would they
Lebanese
be?
as an Indian.
Why would they be speaking Russian?
Then they're
Fake.
not, then they are a minority or something. I don't know. I never heard of Lebanese.
Is there like a
minority in
group of
Russia.
Lebanese people that speak Russian too?
No.
I never
Oh.
heard of them.
It's weird.
Maybe they are Caucasus, like Last Ed said. There's some different kind of group.
That seems weird.
There are people who of Arabic origin in Russia, yes, but they are.
I mean, I always
minority
it just to let you know, it seemed like something shady was always going on with these people.
Well, yeah, right.
I was,
They
I
said,
was
rule number one: if someone says they're Lebanese and is speaking Russian,
no, he was definitely Lebanese, but he was Catholic. Is that popular over there?
They are
There
Christians there, yeah.
There are
Okay.
Christians.
Because he's like a
in
devout
Lebanon.
Christian. He's a devout Catholic. Like he always wanted me to go to this Lebanese Catholic church or something in St. Louis with him, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. But he also was always like trying to get me to sign some piece of paper for something. I don't know. I'm just talking.
it's good. Hey,
Well, yeah,
Avery,
there's
did you
lots.
get
There's
your-
lots. I could talk all night about this guy and his some of the weird stuff that was going on, but something seemed always shady, and they kept to themselves, and they would specifically speak in the foreign language around you, and you always felt like are they like saying something about me right now? Like it just seemed uncomfortable. Like they'd be dealing with me on a business level, and then they would turn to each other and they would talk in like Russian or. It
It's
wasn't Arabic.
is what they speak. I mean,
No,
So
they
they were not
spoke.
Lebanese then.
I don't know.
they might have they know other languages. Not everybody, like in the United States, almost everybody speaks American, but lots of other.
Maybe they
countries-
were Israelis.
America.
Who pretend to be Lebanese.
I mean, well, then they wouldn't be wanting me to go to a Catholic church if that was the case.
Yeah, they say everything so that you sign the contract, right?
No, it wasn't really like that.
They would have.
But
they
it's
would
something
have given
shady
you a-
did seem like it was going on. They'd always buy like a big warehouse, and they'd operate their business out of one part of it, and then
Okay,
the rest of the
definitely
warehouse
Israelis.
it was filled with like dusty old Mercedes and
Yeah.
and whatever he wanted to collect at that time.
She's right.
Okay.
My lady there, obscure reference from the Jerry Seinfeld, the Seinfeld show. Frank Costanza spoke Korean, so
Right.
Elaine thought that her nail salon woman was talking shit about her, so she brought Frank in to eavesdrop and translate. And that's when he rediscovered that the woman he fell in love with in the Korean War worked there. What a great episode that was. And I believe in the end that was the one where he decides to go and he's going to cook food for the Jewish social, and
Yep.
the army guy starts choking on the kreplach or whatever, and
Right. And he has
it
a
goes in-
flashback.
right, the music is from like Platoon maybe or Full Metal Jacket, but he has a flashback and he loses his shit. He's fucking, oh my god, that is a good episode.
Man, I don't remember that episode.
Oh, it's fabulous. Kramer's going to cook it at first, and his kreplach is crap. It's horrible. I don't really know what kreplach is. Last Dance?
I don't know what it is either, even though I should.
Yeah, you should.
Remember when that psycho, that tall psycho guy, and who was asking? Was it Elaine or somebody saying? I have a hard time meeting Jewish single people.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
And then she looks at him like, I didn't know you were Jewish. And she says, why don't you come to this event?
Exactly. He's always got the camo on.
You got the camo on, right?
Right, good shit. Aphid, did you get your ashes this week? Ash Wednesday, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know it until it was like 11 o'clock Thursday night. And my wife was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make tuna fish sandwiches tomorrow for Lent," and I'm like, "Oh." So no.
But you
Didn't
guys
get my-
do respect the no meat on Fridays thing?
That's the only thing we pretty much respect when it comes to our respective religions. But yes, for some reason, still to this day, on Fridays we go to fish fries and eat a fish fillet from McDonald's for lunch.
I had only 3 meats on Friday, so I took it light.
Ah, you're a good man.
No, yeah, I'm not Catholic anymore, so that's that part of my life is behind me.
Now, laser dance. When you were younger, did you, you were only half Jewish, so you probably didn't have to follow eating the special foods, did you? Oh,
Now
you're
he's
muted. Yeah, he muted himself. Though.
Well,
Oh,
what
jeez.
exactly did you mean, though? I mean, we
Cody,
Well, the reason I ask you this is because I have a Jewish friend. Anyway, and he's an Orthodox Jew. So I wanted to ask him, but I forgot to. If he looks at Catholics as like pussies because, he goes all out. Like he can't eat food anywhere because it's not, what is it, kosher, I guess.
kosher, right?
So he can't go, like, he's never had a Big Mac and any of that stuff. So I just wonder for this couple Fridays out of the year, these Catholics go out and don't eat meat, do they laugh at that or I wonder what they think of it.
No. I wouldn't
no
think of it.
McDonald's is kosher, huh?
No.
I mean, honestly, I don't know, but I don't think the way they prepare the food would be in compliance with kosher regulations.
No. He says there's nothing he can go eat. There's nothing, unless it's a Jewish, deli, he can't get anything out.
Yeah.
He can he said at the ballpark that he was he grew up in New York, and he said at the Mets, wherever they play, there's a place where he could get kosher hot dogs.
Well, I
Okay,
think
well,
most
we
of
can
them that are available at ballparks are kosher.
I don't know.
I
I think
thought.
in St. Louis, because he likes the Cardinals too, and I think he said that he can get a kosher dog there.
Oh, corn dogs must be kosher, surely.
Well, it's a
I
hot
don't know.
dog.
You might be able to eat an apple pie from McDonald's. There might be something
I thought-
prepackaged made elsewhere.
I thought corn dogs were vegetarian.
No, that's just cornbread wrapped around a hot dog, deep
You know
fried.
what? I once
Oh,
thought
I
that too. And I took a bite out of it, and I said, Jesus, this is meat. The guy next to me said, what did you think it was? I said, I thought it was corn.
I mean, it's barely meat, but there's some meat in there. It's not like, but it's meat. Hot dogs, no
I
bueno.
thought it was just like a cornbread on a stick.
Oh. Although that would probably be better in my opinion. I think corn dogs are disgusting, and I love cornbread, so cornbread on a stick would be perfect for me, man. All set with anything hot dog related. I get excited like once a year. I'm like, all right, hot dog on the grill, here we go, baby. And then I eat it, and I'm like, that sucked. I wish I had eaten something better, but it's.
I learned of
Yeah,
a new thing. A new thing today called beer boiled bratwurst,
Sure.
and then
What the
grilled on
fuck?
a
That
barbecue.
is abomination. The total abomination. We don't eat shit like that.
Beer.
They don't eat bratwurst in Germany.
Yes, but not in beer. Not boiled in beer.
Really?
Why?
What the fuck?
That sounds awesome. And
No,
then caramelized on a grill.
Beer.
It's
Okay,
good.
no,
I've
boil
had
it
it
in-
too.
No.
And
I've
then you
cooked-
eat it. And then you eat it with fresh sliced onions and freshly ground mustard seeds.
Yes. But the beer part is strange. I thought you just put it on the grill and then you get it. With potatoes and sauerkraut,
Do
usually.
you,
right?
do you not cook with beer at all in Germany?
We do, but not the sausages.
Okay.
There's pork meat that you put in beer, dark beer actually.
Well, isn't bratwurst partly pork?
Yes.
It is made on pork, but they talk about like these slices. It's called Schweinsbraten. That's just slices of pork meat. It's like
Swine.
a steak, but yeah. And then you can put it in dark beer, yeah.
Yeah.
I never heard of someone putting their sausage in beer. It's the first time. Maybe it exists. I don't know.
It is because I have I've
think
got
I
a
might
different
try that,
method.
actually.
I take well, take your vegetarian sausage, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You put it in a hot pan, so it's a little bit of oil, so it's already kind of sizzling right away. Take your can of beer, pour about a quarter of the can in, put a lid on it, steam it for 5 minutes in the beer, take the lid off, beer cooks away, and you finish just browning it in the pan. It's beer steamed, but then sautéed in the same pan. Only uses one dish. Less dish is always better. Pretty tasty.
Vegetable sausage?
Yeah, there's veggie sausages or whatever sauce. I was just saying that for last
course there
dance,
are.
Yeah.
I've never seen a veggie sausage before.
Oh,
Is it
man.
green?
Well, I've seen no.
You haven't heard of Beyond Sausage?
Yeah, beyond.
What do they put it in? The case? What's the casing? It obviously isn't
I'll
intestine
tell
like
you
it
what
should
it's
be.
made of, and you'll be shocked. It's made of
Well,
algae.
Well, a lot of
Is it
sausages
really?
these days
Yes.
don't have intestine casing. They have an artificial casing.
I
Some.
wonder how they make that artificial casing. Like, do they not push it into it, or do they just dip it in like a plastic dip and call that a casing?
I've been
I
waiting
think
to
it's
say. I've been waiting to say this for a long time, but I don't know. I don't know how that sausage is made.
I'd be interested to find out.
Hold on.
You never heard the phrase? I
find
don't know how the sausage. You don't want to know how
Is
the
that-
sausage is made.
Yeah, you just
No.
want to eat it. Yeah. Upton Sinclair, the Welcome to the Jungle, baby. All right.
that
Tu-
was-
tuna
that was
fish in a
set in
can. Is this
Chicago.
thing. Like, you don't want to see the tuna fish can factory that your tuna fish came in. That's for sure.
Sorry, what did you say last dance?
That was set in Chicago,
The Jungle?
the jungle. Yeah.
That is a crazy book.
Yep. Mostly true. You know, fictional fictional story built around true scenes that we know.
You
They
familiar
really
with it, Aphid?
The Jungle?
Yes.
Can't say that I am. I'm not very well read.
That's all right.
According
That-
to Google, vegetarian casings are made of water-soluble polysaccharides, which are similar to cellulose.
Works for me.
And when I mean I'm not very well read, I've never read a book in my life.
That's not true. Yes, you have.
Bullshit.
No, it is. I swear to you, it is the absolute truth.
You haven't read The Lord of the Rings. Come on.
No, Absolutely not.
Okay.
The closest I came was I memorized the 1976 hardback cover of the Guinness Book of World Records when I was a kid. Besides that, I have not read a book.
Really? You're missing a lot. Do you know how to read?
I know. I have the most extensive library you've ever seen in your life, and I haven't read one of the books sitting on the shelves.
Yeah, well, Thrasher
haven't?
magazine all the way back to 1981 doesn't count, buddy.
Yeah, I've definitely thumbed through some magazines. Magazines, an article I can read, but sit down and read a book. If I'm gonna sit down, I want to paint a painting, and I've only done that about a dozen times in my life, so I don't have the time, I guess.
I like it. Do what you want, man. You don't have to be a reader.
Now, like I can watch a YouTube video or something like that, or read a quick story on a website if I come across it, But like sit down and read a book, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, all of my reading comes reading with my kid.
And I have done that. I've read my kid a book.
Well, we read the whole Lord of the
then you read a
Rings
book.
series, and now we're on
Yeah,
to the
right.
third book in the Harry Potter series, which I love.
I never read a book to my kid that took more than one sitting. It was always like a kid's book.
Right. Yeah.
That was fun though. Reading a kid's book, with the kid like interested in. You can't wait to turn the page so you can see the picture on the next page. That's fun stuff, man. That's fun stuff right there.
Pete the Cat. Do you remember
And a
that?
quick- No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll tell you the probably the most talked about book that we read was Walter the Farting Dog. That was
Not bad.
the biggest book at my house.
Never heard of it. Sounds like
You should read the geographic book and learn where the countries are first.
There you go. Ouch. Did you catch that, Ethan?
No, what'd you say?
She said you
should,
should. Go ahead.
You should maybe, if you don't want to read books, take a geographic book and learn where all the countries are.
Yeah.
That's easy, right? And all the cities.
But how does that benefit me? How does that benefit me in my life?
Well, I don't know.
Well-
What does benefit you then? I
Huh?
don't know. What does benefit you? I have read hundreds of books.
I don't know.
Don't say it
I've been.
benefits me.
I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm
Yes.
still looking for the thing that that benefits me. I haven't found it yet.
Yes, you make music, you paint, you seem to be very creative. That's very cool. But I think that if you find a book that you like, it might help you. It depends on what book, right?
It could help me.
It could
Because-
not. It might also not. You don't know, right?
I have very high blood pressure, and I think that like relaxing and maybe getting lost in a book, I think would probably help with that.
I agree.
I think in the modern age, books are a good way to escape screens.
I'll tell you, some books my favorite books are books that I only read when I read them to my children.
The last book I read was Of Mice and Men at School.
Yeah, that's a very dark book.
Good. It's a good one though. And what your favorite that you read to your little lady's last dance that you can remember?
There were two series that are very famous. One of them was the Chronicles of Narnia, those books. And another was the books, The Wizard of Oz is the most famous one, but there's a whole set of books by L. Frank Baum that are based on those characters and that concept. And my favorite of that, I believe, was called the Ozma of Oz. That was my favorite book of that series.
What was it, like a history of Oz or something?
It's just another Oz story set with different characters.
Sure.
It featured a character called the Tick-Tock of Oz,
Huh.
which I always wondered if they should have sued TikTok for stealing their name. But
Spelled the same? No C's, two K's? Do you remember?
I think it was spelled the same way.
Huh. Cool.
But the books are so old that they're actually no longer copyrighted, so I'm not sure there is any intellectual property to claim.
What was it again? The TikTok? What was the book again? Sorry.
the most famous book of the series is The Wizard of Oz, at least in the West,
Yes.
or at least in America, because there was a movie made.
I know this book. Yes.
But there are other books. The Ozma of Oz is a book,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a whole 5 or 6 books set in Oz, and my favorite was called The Ozma of Oz.
Okay.
Thanks, Cup of Tea. Why don't you come on and show us?
Yeah, but in a way, I do agree with him. I always am thirsting to learn. Learning is.
He wasn't. He was insulting you. Believe me.
Yeah.
I do love to learn, but he's. I hear you. I know what he's saying and insinuating, but
Oh, I gotta take this time. I hate to do it. Takeaway.
yes,
But
yes,
Mrs. Lip, I see, is over there, and she wanted me to make sure she was in the room when I
yes.
did this, and she wants me to give the utmost of apologies to Cup of Tea because she was a little hard on him a couple weeks ago, and he seemed to get out of place, and he said some harsh words to Mrs. Lip, and she wants to reach out the olive branch because she knows he is such a good person, and that she was 100% at fault, and she apologizes. So I hope
I'm sure.
Cup of Tea takes her apology.
I'm sure that will heal the rift.
This is going to go very well, I'm sure. All right.
But back to the book thing.
Are
Did you guys
those
hear?
before you go there, Aphid? Was those words verbatim, or was you ad-libbing?
I
Heavily
embellished.
edited.
I embellished a little bit.
You might have improved the language.
But anyway, did you guys hear the over here in America they're taking out some words and ways that Roald Dahl, I hope I'm pronouncing his
Roald
name
Dahl, yeah, I
correctly.
heard that.
Roald Dahl.
Is that the Wild Things are, or what? What am I?
No, that's
Matilda.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the
Which is
Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yeah.
Oh, Chucky and the Choco Fact.
One of the things they want to make sure to take out the fat, because he calls the one kid fat.
Augustus Gloop.
And yeah, Augustus, the German. Anna will appreciate this. They thought he was too harsh and by using the word fat, so they're going to take out fat of
I'm sorry,
the Roald
but
Dahl books.
you can't destroy literature like that by.
You can if you own it, and these are the people that own it.
I don't care.
Roald Dahl has been dead
It's
for a
a-
few years.
Yeah, you're right. It was a
those-
reprinting is what it was.
Those original books still exist, and they cannot undo what was written then.
Well, there was such an outcry over it that they agreed to their I guess they're going to have, 2 different versions of his book. It wasn't just Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it was other books as well.
No, it
That's
was
I
a
can't
whole
remember.
man.
James
Like,
and the
I can't remember
Giant
some of
what's
those
his
Cup of
name
Tea.
now? The kid who was forced to eat cake in Matilda.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it was
see,
Matilda. And Matilda was actually one of the other ones they talked about. There was a bunch of stuff in Matilda that they wanted to change.
Yes, you see, the West is just in a stage where they cater to minorities, right? So the fat people are not seen either, right? But the fat people are sacred, gay people are sacred, colored people are sacred. Only
Trans.
people who are fucked ass were white, right?
I
They
would
are
say,
fucked.
Anna, I would change that. You said the West. I would say change the W word to the woke. Because a
Yeah.
lot of
Yes,
us here
but-
don't agree with that, and we're all
You're right.
West.
But,
You can't
geographically-
generalize. You can't generalize.
Geographically, this happens rather in Western countries, so Western Europe and maybe US. I don't know about the US, but Germany, you can say Germany, yeah, and France and all these countries. It's the West. It's the western part of Europe. So, who meets the West? Don't say
Okay.
it's all of us, right? But this shit with the books, you also have it here. So they also, there's a book from a German author about a black slave who came to Germany.
Smokesteve,
19th century.
I'm gonna have to sign off a little early. We're going out to dinner here, so.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
still on when
Well,
I
it's
get
been good
back,
to see you,
I
Last
might
Dance.
rejoin if that's okay.
I
Alright.
probably won't be here by then. I've
Love
got
to
another
have you.
maybe half
Take
an
it
hour,
easy,
Have
guys.
some
40
fun,
minutes
last
left in
time.
me.
Take care.
All right.
yeah, have a good time.
All right. Take care.
See you, buddy.
Bye. So yeah, so this is not no surprise that they want to censor books, right? So
Yeah,
this
it would be
will go
like
on
if they went in and took Monked the painting of the Scream and said his Scream is a little too shocking. Let's just dull it down a little bit so people don't get scared by it. I mean, like, this is a piece of art. This guy wrote these words. To take the art that he wrote and then I consider it to be bastardizing it is an
I was
insult
just
to the.
thinking that exact same word.
You know, it would be like taking a old gangster rap song from the 80s that might have offensive lyrics, or some satanic metal that might make people angry, and literally changing it after it was created because it doesn't suit you. It's bullshit, man. It's crazy. And especially since it's so unoffensive, as it's just, I guess because it's a children's book, is that what they're going with? It must be, right? Because they're not changing every book.
I don't. Well, it was like Last Stand said. It was the people that owned the book that decided to make this change and to cater to the direction that they. I mean, I guess they. They don't have nothing to do with the rights. I mean, or the Roald Dahl. Like, it's not his wishes. These people at some point paid millions of dollars for the rights to have the profits of whatever his books sold in the future, and they've made this decision to now change what he wrote.
Well,
It seems
I'll tell you something.
absurd.
For all those that own original copies, Smokesteve just turned his mic off.
Yeah,
for all
make a
those who
lot of
own the
background
origi-
noise.
Yeah. For all those that own original copies, if they do mess up and do this change, it will make those original copies worth all the more.
Well, like I said, they did decide to do dual copies. So I guess, I don't know if they still do this. I don't know if they still do this, but back in the 90s, I know that the Beastie Boys would come out with 2 albums. One would be explicit
so
content.
basically, they're going to have a censored version and a
Exactly.
full version,
So those people that are
like-
so sensitive that they see that word "fat" in the sentence, that they're gonna, and now it's gonna be all so much better for their
it's like
kids and their development in their life.
It's like the new. Well, it's not quite like, but the new Megan movie. The AI robot doll thing.
Yeah.
Because it got so famous on TikTok with the Megan doll dancing, they actually downgraded all of the violence and gore so they could sell it to teenagers and make more money. And now they've just released in America, I heard, the unrated version, which has a lot more gore in it.
Huh.
Really? Well, interesting you said that, because I know that the movie was it Clockwork Orange? I think it was Clockwork Orange, had 2 separate endings, and over in Europe they had a softer ending or something that was different from the ones that we have released here in America.
No kidding, huh?
That reminds me as well. They had the South Park game, and they took all of the what would deem to be the offensive bits out. Like an alien.
So what do they just show the beginning and ending credits, because everything's offensive? That's the whole point.
Well, there was a scene that was on YouTube that was blurred out, but you could see that there was an alien shoving a probe up Cartman's butt, and that was actually taken out. And there was
Come on.
It was blacked out with "This cannot be shown in your country," blah blah blah.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
Oh, and you guys aren't marching in the streets for this outrage? Oh, there's Lee.
There's Lee, our boy.
For the maybe 500 people that bought that game.
Right. Clockwork Orange is similar to me to the Pink Floyd The Wall. Is usually lots of things are being consumed or were being consumed when those movies were on. So to remember the endings is it's difficult. I remember
that's right.
Like The Wall.
I know exactly
I
what
sat
you're
down
saying.
to The Wall 50 times, but yet as it gets to the end, I'm like, oh, I'm out climbing a tree or something. And the same with Clockwork Orange. Those movies are just, they spawn drug use.
Yeah.
They're so good though. It's so good.
It's my favorite movie.
Clockwork Orange or The Wall?
Yes.
Clockwork Orange is probably in my top 10 too. I like
Resident Evil.
fucked
All
up.
of Resident Evil movies.
Different levels, but so Maloka, that's what it's called, right? In Clockwork Orange, what they drink is that milk mixed with drugs. They were never exactly clear of exactly what it was.
Right. Well, it was some type of drug, but I don't think that it was set in the future, so it was some drug that we don't even know about.
And it was a weird, like, when they like attacked the British couple that seemed to be like wealthy, like they kind of like raped them and shit, and like they were like they seemed to be from like the 50s. It was weird. It was like in the future, but yet it had this aspect of classic British culture. Like they couldn't get rid of that because clearly it wasn't that. The production values weren't great for that movie, but they were pretty goddamn good for what they had.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's still
It holds up.
Did you guys get Little Britain over there?
No, I don't even know what that is.
I think it went straight to video.
It was basically a sketch show, but they cancelled it because it had.
Oh no.
It was deemed too unwoke friendly.
Oh. But now you guys had. Oh, we got. Like, that's almost hard to talk. Smokesteve.
I think he's unplugged his headphone by accident.
Yeah. Yes.
Why, do you got an echo? Is there an echo?
Oh, it's so harsh.
All right, we're back. Okay, I'll mute the next time I do that. Understood.
What were we talking about, Biscuit?
Little Britain, the British midget porn star?
No, I don't know what it is.
The what?
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was you guys used to have. You guys like when I was a kid, like you guys had boobs on TV, and we didn't have boobs on TV.
Did
but
you
now
not?
you guys seem like
we had Euro Trash at midnight every night on TV.
Yeah, you guys seem now so on the far end of it.
I think the threshold was like 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. And then you could have anything you want after that.
Yeah,
we guys are so censored.
Yeah, according to National Lampoon's, all that was on TV over there was cheese. European Vacation, there was like cheese on TV. Anyone remember that? Anybody? Obscure movie reference?
I saw that movie once and I was like, it wasn't my favorite.
Really?
Out of the Vacations.
9 p.m. was the watermark, apparently, according to English.
Do you know this movie Hostel?
Hostel.
Yes.
Hostel, yeah. That's cool, right?
I haven't seen
First
it.
one. Second one sucks.
It's similar to what's that one?
Saw.
No. Doc.
I can barely hear you. It's very low.
Rec. I think it's called Rec. I think it's called REC. With it's like when it's recording.
That's Spain. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But it's about exorcism and ghosts. It's different.
What's it called again?
Hostel.
His movie is called Rec. REC.
Like record?
It's about ghosts and...
the actual title is the red circle, like the record symbol, and then REC.
So, Hostel, was that the movie where, like, rich people captured young tourists and cut their fingers and shit off for entertainment?
Yeah, not only the fingers.
Yeah, I remember that. That's another one that is in the deep... I don't like the word annals of my memory but I don't remember the
strange words, yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't really remember the movie, but I remember some of it.
The movie is stupid. They travel there, then some people catch them, they torture them, and they leave by train, and it's stupid. So they catch him again anyway, somehow, yeah.
Clockwork Orange was a book. That must have been a wild read. I didn't know that.
I have the book.
Interesting. It's probably a lot different from the movie, I would think.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Who was the actor? What was his name? Was he he wasn't famous.
Malcolm McDowell, is that his name?
Was he ever in anything else?
Not really, not here in the States. I mean, later, he did, but they were like, it was more like Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange, and the rest of the movie sucked.
His gang members, buddies, were cool, but that weird scene when he like jumps them and he pulls the knife out when they're walking on the next to the water and like slices the guy's hand. That was so bizarre.
I watched a really weird film other day with Nicolas Cage, and he never says a word in the entire film. It's called Wally's Wonderland or something like that.
Really?
Never heard of it.
It's like a rip off of Five Nights at Freddy's. You know the game.
What about Leaving Las Vegas? Did you guys like that one?
I did.
Substance abuse.
Talk about depressing.
Alcoholism.
That might be the most depressing movie that there's ever been made, and it's completely depressing.
What's the name again? Leaving Las Vegas?
It's called Leaving Las Vegas. I don't think that, if I remember correctly,
I don't know
you correct me if I'm wrong, Smokesteve, but it's about a guy, and he's like, I think he's lost his wife, lost his family, lost his job, and he's got a little bit of money left, and he spends all of it on alcohol in Las Vegas to try to end his life. He wants to just drink himself to death.
That's like
and he
me,
does.
huh?
He does. He
just like you.
to
Come
death.
on. It's not just like you.
I don't think any films ever destroyed me as much as A Dog's Purpose.
Never heard of
What?
it.
What's
A
the
Dog's
movie?
Purpose.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
It's the life of a dog, but the dog dies and then it comes back as a puppy, and then it goes through life, and then it dies again, and it's like carrying on. And the dog must die like 7 or 8 times in the movie. It's destroying.
Damn. Hey, English Bottle Cap, is that you trying to join in live? Because I've never seen you try to join in live before.
Oh, I'd like to see English Bottle Cap.
No, now it's a picture of a vagina with sunglasses. Okay, it's not English Bottle Cap. Or if it is, it's funny. But yeah, they stole his little symbol there and made a little avatar of it. And it said English Bottle Cap joining in live.
And what was the camera? A vagina?
Vagina with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oops.
As far as I can tell, I mean, it's slightly bigger than a postage stamp. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking at. It's hard to say.
Oh, could have really livened up the night there, Smokesteve. But
Yeah,
you ruined it.
Not English Bottle Cap, according to chat.
Well, no, it's not him. We lost Random Goon earlier, and we lost McGrandy, who were both seeming to want to join in at the time. So they never kicked back in on the second broadcast here. I retweeted it, and I put it on the Discord. I don't know. I got no other...
I'll put it. I'll see if I can get some guys over.
See
here.
if you can rile some guys up.
Rile some people up.
Who are you gonna get, Mr. God to you? His backgrounds are
put
famous.
I could put it in that Skype group. That might get real. We got Dennis out of it last week.
He was a good guy.
Dennis.
That was crazy how
I
brought up Slayer. I like my Satan more of the Slayer Satan. He had fucking Slayer tattooed on his forearm. That was classic, dude. I had no idea. It was just, that was a cool connection. He seemed like a good guy. I heard some suspicious rumblings about his incredible lack of any accent, that he sounded almost American.
He's not. I'll vouch for him. He lives over in Sweden. I guarantee you.
That's what I said.
Whether he was born and raised there his whole life, I can't vouch for. But
Right.
he does definitely live in Sweden. I've seen live chats of him walking around.
Dude's got a good mastery of the English language.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, the Human Centipede. I've heard about these. I never saw them,
That's
but
awful. I hate it.
very graphic, right?
It's the worst.
What is it again?
The first one is in either Japan or China, and he takes two women and a man hostage and sews them arse to mouth. and I can't remember, but like the last one dies because she refuses to eat what comes out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, now I don't want to see it. Thanks, Lee. Join in, Lee. Leo. Leland.
It's not horror. It's just absolutely disgusting.
It's like shock gore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The guy literally sews them together.
Asshole
Yes, and
to
he's
mouth.
a German.
Yes.
What is?
The doctor is a German. In this movie.
Oh, of course. Makes sense
Yeah.
in the Human Centipede, right?
Yeah, I think so. The number plates are German, at least. Of the car.
Makes sense. What was my lady saying?
Oh, there's Topple.
Topple's here? Wow,
You
you
missed
saw that
everything,
before
Greg.
me. Well, we're just getting started. Not even 2 hours into it here.
Only one hour and 1 minute.
Yeah, right, because of that whole fucking fuck up at the beginning. It's gonna be 2 pubs tonight.
It's so late, it's 3 o'clock and it's extremely late here. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, tomorrow's Sunday, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Age and the clock are just numbers.
But is there a
right.
way to make the stream a bit earlier though? Because in Europe it's really fucked up. To stay up until 1:30, no?
Well, I mean, when you were younger, it wasn't.
I'm 36, not young.
Same age as me, Anna. I feel
Fuck,
exactly the same
okay.
way. It's late.
Cool.
Wait till you guys
In England,
get
it's
40.
even in England it's already 4. I think it's 4:30, right?
It's 2:24 here.
Oh fuck! It's 1 hour behind. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. My bad.
Yeah, you guys are fucked. It's early.
So, Smokesteve, did you not do your Sunday fun day pub because you were hungover?
Yeah, it was a long weekend. A lot of things
Mhm.
happened. Friday was a heavy day. Saturday was a fun day. So it was, and then Sunday was a day of rest for sure. I didn't have it in me to go.
To continue, you couldn't.
No.
Two nights in a row is enough for you.
Well, Friday was I never really got into it, but it was, suit and tie day. You know what I mean, and not for the happy reason.
Right.
So-
Ooh. Sorry to hear that.
That's okay. No big deal. Saturday was my buddy came down and we mixed it up a little, and he bought a bottle of this shit, dude. He spent over $100 on it. It comes
Holy
from
shit, dude!
He left it here because it's the craziest tasting thing you've ever fucking put in your mouth. It comes from Mexico, and it's called it's a type of pachuga. It's mezcal made from a certain type of what that cactus is. What the hell is it called? Agave, right?
Mhm.
And dude, we thought this stuff was going to be the smoothest thing you ever had.
It wasn't.
It tasted like, I swear to God, like something you would clean paintbrushes with, like turpentine. It
So
was
it tasted like Jack Daniels.
dude, most unbelievably horrendous tasting thing you've ever had. It was so bitter and fucking firewater. Like, I could not believe it was $100. So I swore to him I'm gonna fresh squeeze like grapefruits, lemons. I'm gonna get some orange curacao, some simple syrup. I gotta make something out of this because the guy he had one sip and he was like, "It's not for me." I could see the I've known the guy for 30 years. I could see the disappointment in his face. Man.
Oh no!
It was horrible, dude. I mean,
He thought that was you guys gonna be hitting that thing all night long, and you were like one and done.
all we intend to, we drink beer because otherwise we would just be falling over. So
Right.
we'll have a nip of something like you with your whatever that little nippy things you do.
I actually got a story when you finish yours about that.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, honestly, I had a little bit of the rum here. After we finished that, a little later, I was like, "Here, let's just try this on comparison. This good quality Venezuelan rum." And he tasted it. He was like, "Wow, I can taste the sugar cane. I can taste the alcohol. It's a nice, even, smooth balance." This other stuff was just fire water, dude. At 110 a bottle, like, felt so bad for him, but. Hey, Lee, come back. Sorry, I was mid-story. You're welcome to come on, buddy. But go ahead. Let's hear your nip story.
Okay, so the Mrs. Lip was out back cleaning up the dog dirt, as we call it. And, it's been wintertime, so it doesn't happen as often as it does in the summer because you're not out there worrying about if you're going to step into a fresh pile or not,
Oh, my God, the humanity.
So she was kind of really going through every inch of the yard, getting it all. And she found a bottle. It's pretty cold outside, but it was a little bit nicer today, And she found a bottle of Woodford that obviously on New Year's Eve when we all did a shot, somebody pushed out and threw it on the ground. So I got it in my fridge, and I was gonna see if you guys wanted to toast it up. And
wait, it was full?
Yeah, it's unopened, dude. So I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna do some Woodford. You guys
do it. Woodford
down
it up.
For a little toast.
I'll match you. I'll match you, buddy. Woodford Reserve. Oh, come on, be
so
nice,
I
please.
What do you? Oh man, did he not hear the just passion that she had for her apology? What an asshole! She might take it all back. Cup of tea.
Come on.
All right, here we go. The Woodford. Yeah, it was my. To be honest with you, we got to because I have a group chat with my buddies. Cheers, Smokesteve.
Cheers, buddy.
What is that? Is it the rum?
Mine is.
No.
His is whiskey.
Yeah, mine's whiskey.
Okay. I've only beer though. Cheers.
That's all right. That's all right. Biscuit, you got some air to raise.
I got some dregs of a can left.
All right,
there we go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, that was gross.
Smooth.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Take a look at is that blended whiskey? Is it Canadian? What is it?
Oh, that is so harsh, man.
I think it's blended, right? Gotta get the readers on.
I gotta get the readers on. Woodford, Kentucky, straight bourbon whiskey.
Straight bourbon, yeah, that's good shit. That's very good, man. Hell yeah!
The entire bottle.
And it was the weed thief from 2 years ago that ditched his shot of Woodford. We got to the bottom of it.
What a finooch.
So not only did he steal my weed, he pushed out on doing a shot of Woodford and threw the bottle on the ground for it to sit out there for 2 months until we found it tonight.
But he didn't try to thieve any weed this year.
No, he didn't.
Did he bring any weed?
He did.
All right. That makes up for it a little bit.
No, not for anybody else. Well, he did offer it. He offered it to me, but it was like a wet, soggy joint, and I was like, I don't want any of that.
Ugh.
I got my own I got my own inside. I don't need. There's some people like you just. I don't want to have any of his molecules of spit in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm agreeing to when I take that thing and put it in my mouth. And
would you want molecules of my spit in your mouth?
Yeah, I would totally take molecules of your spit.
Oh, what a guy.
I would take Anna's or Biscuits, either one of you, before I would take this guy's.
All right, cool.
Molecules of spit.
But you and your weed smoke something proper. Weed is weed, but much better things to smoke and to use, no?
Cool. Let's all go to Germany and smoke meth with Anna.
You're welcome. But I have to go to Czech Republic and get it. It's 8 hours drive though.
8 hours
sucks.
drive. That's
You drive
Yeah.
8 hours to get your fix?
4 hours there and 4 hours back. 8 hours
Ah.
in total.
Well, actually,
Oh my
the border.
god!
it's 4 hours there and 7 minutes back. At least that's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
right.
I don't use in the car, so
Good,
I
good, very
do
good.
it here.
Yeah,
So the
to get
border.
home.
There's a big mall, like you have all the clothes and Vietnamese food, all this shit. And there's a few people that
I
sell
can
this.
think of one
They
better
know me.
way than to spend 4 hours driving somewhere, and that's to drive to Scotland.
Yeah, well, the gas alone,
What
how
is
much
the
is your...
way?
Gas is nothing.
I'm sure
I
she
have the
pays...
money. I work.
I know, but how much in gas does it cost to drive 8 hours?
It's
In
4 hours
US,
there,
if you
4 hours
could-
back. So the first time I fill up here, gas costs 180 now. 180 euros for 1 liter. So how many liters do I need? I don't know, maybe 20? I don't know. And so yeah, of course it's not for free, but on the other hand, you also eat there, you can shop there, and then you get.
So you got
stuff,
other
right?
you got other thing you're doing when you're going there.
I get some Vietnamese or
But
Chinese
is this like
food.
every weekend you drive up there to go
No,
get your...
when I go there once a month or once in 2 months.
You fill the whole
Yes.
trunk up with
No.
meth.
We just no. Because sometimes they check on the card, so we have to be careful.
Oh.
No, but I don't want to say how. I just get it over the border. That's it. And
That sounds like a
And you
private
have to-
parts hiding is what you're saying.
Is it legal over there, or do you have to have a guy?
no, look, in Czech Republic it is actually legal because all drugs are legal there. Here not, but they see
Lee.
you, right? You have no borders, no checks. Sometimes they do it, very rarely. But I love
Gotcha.
going there. It's good food and everything, you know. Beer is also cheap. I fill my trunk with beer actually, not with the other stuff.
Right on. Right on. Hi, Lee. How you doing, bud?
Good evening, all. Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Cheers.
Very good, thanks, man.
Good. Long time no see.
Indeed.
Did you get the biscuits and gravy? I've been dying.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it was good. It was good.
So man, I found some more videos of people for some reason British people trying biscuits and gravy, and every
Yeah,
time
it's-
they're like, "Oh, this sounds gross," and they try it and they're like, "Oh my god, this is like so good."
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know that Steve wasn't going to be around last weekend because I got it ready to eat live on air, and then it's like, oh, not actually broadcasted. So we ate it
Oh,
anyway. We tried it. And it was like, actually, this is really good. So yeah, thumbs up.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I haven't tried
It's
the.
something we'll be having.
I haven't tried the fried
So,
because I just haven't had. I want to do it proper, and I want to have a bacon gravy or bacon, oil that I fry this in. I don't want to do it with
Yeah.
anything less. So
Yeah.
I haven't cooked
Right.
up any bacon for some strange reason since then. But I'm totally. I'll let you know when I do it because I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. You have
And
to-
here's me having
definitely,
2
yeah.
slices of bacon every day since then.
Right.
Cool.
My grill.
Yeah, well, the
pan
last time I
full of
spoke to you guys, I
bacon
was
grease.
I was watching the Super Bowl. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing
It
game.
was pretty good. I thought the first half was better. I thought it got a little slow in the second half. And I thought that call
Well-
near the end was bullshit.
The call was bullshit, but it was a
There
good
he is.
game. I mean, there's definitely been a lot worse games. You know what I'm saying? Like this one was definitely fairly solid
got
all the
one
way
against
through.
It's the first game I've ever watched all the way through. So I mean, I've seen snippets of it before, but so like I said, I took the day off especially to watch it. So I think I thought the fact that it was so close was quite a good treat, really, because it was like exciting right to the.
It was good.
Right.
So
Close.
I really enjoyed it.
That game was totally rigged.
It seemed it. They do.
I mean,
love
the call was lame. It was
It was a
totally
right call,
lame.
though. It was a right call.
It was right. I mean, there's a problem with the game. It's not the call. It's the fact that they don't make him play the play right away. I mean, I know you disagree, Top, but that shit watching Andy Reid stand there waiting for the clock to run down, the play clock till 1 second. That's painful.
bullshit.
It's
That's
painful,
bullshit.
dude.
It's part of the game.
Dude, he looked as wide as a triple-decker fucking bus.
Eagles would have done the same thing. Any team would have done this.
Oh, no. He wasn't wrong for it.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. But it's just lame that that's how the game has to end. It's just lame.
They had plenty of opportunities to beat them. They were up 10 points after the half. So.
And that last throw was just like,
that was.
I mean,
bizarre.
what was he? Was he like? Why avoid an interception? This is your last throw. Just try. Throw it to somebody. He didn't throw it to nobody.
He slipped. He said. How the field was.
I mean, that makes sense because the people were slipping all night. I guess the paint they used for that logo are bullshit.
The field was pathetic. But I mean, give the
basketball season now, so
b-ball,
I mean, it's the most important game of the year. They should make sure that the field is going to be not a compromise to the game.
They both had to play on the same field too, though. So
I think they worry too much about like their logo being painted big enough and everything being crisp enough for the TV.
How's everybody? How's everyone?
Not
good,
bad.
man. How you doing, Top?
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Loving it.
Right on. Right
Did I
on.
miss
Yeah.
any topics? Where's McGronda? I wanted to talk Ukraine with him.
The whole thing went to shit at the beginning. I couldn't hear anybody. We had an official glitch that I've never had happen before. Hence the reason this is titled Smokesteve International Pub Attempt Number 2. Because the first one was a fucking failure, dude. And I hate it. I can't believe it. We lost McGrand. We lost Random Goon.
Last Dance.
No, he went out to dinner to get some fucking vegetarian shit, dude. So can't blame him for that.
He needs to eat.
I don't know why I threw the vegetarian in. I'm ornery. I'm mad.
No, because I was wondering,
anyway.
it's always fun to hear both sides. No, I had the show on, and then I went to the grocery store because I had marinated something for work. And when I came back, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, McGrande's on there. Then you made a comment that I made a comment. I'm like, I'm not on the show. So I looked, and I'm like, oh, this is like 2 weeks old.
That's funny. That is good stuff. Yeah. Hey, what's English? What are you on? You have less of a microphone tonight.
Do I?
What is it?
Can't hear.
Okay.
He sounds fine.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
gotta get a new headset. That's all. I got 2 horrible headsets.
Boost him. Can't you boost him, Smokesteve? Boost him up a couple
Can
points.
I boost him? You're right. I can
Kept my
boost.
sound down. He probably kept my
Give
sound
the brother a little love.
He doesn't make me a moderator. He keeps my sound down. He kicks me out of the show. I get no love here.
Did he-
I only did that once, and it was an accident. I boosted his mic.
Hello. Is that better?
It doesn't. No, it don't sound no different.
All right.
I hear you fine though.
Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you're fine, totally. Hey, Top. So a few weeks ago, you were saying like, you were noticing utility bills incredibly high. We noticed them here in Massachusetts as well.
I just got a bill for $900 for electric.
Holy shit,
Oh
dude!
man, ours is $450, and that blew me
Jesus,
away, dude.
900.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what my old shop used to be like.
Well, I also have an in-wall suite that's all electric heat too, so that does not
Oh,
help.
electric heat.
One-
Jeez.
Yes. It's all
220 baseboard heat, like the,
Yep,
the hot.
baseboard. I'm about to put split systems in there and put heat pumps.
Are you guys? Do you use it?
I have my aunt that lives with me.
Oh,
I moved her out of the city.
Will they pay room and board or what? Come on.
you crack that shit up. If the bills go up, be like, listen.
She paid for her space and she pays the cable bill because I refuse to pay the cable bill. But
Damn.
it's all good. We all help each other. You would do
Oh,
the
that's
same,
cool.
right?
That's right.
of course.
Oh, speaking of, I gotta say, I talked to you guys about the dog situation that I had. Chip's in a good place now, and I think we're soon, hopefully, going to be Monday. We'll find out. We'll take him completely off, or definitely decrease his medication. And I don't have regrets on the amount of money I spent. At this point in this, it wasn't a ton of money. It could have been way worse. But I know Topple said that he would pay just about anything, and I questioned how far I would go. But at this point, I'm less than $2,000 into it, and I don't have any regrets.
Depending on age, how old the dog is, but
right.
Yeah, my dog right now, I would put $10,000 to help.
You're fucking crazy.
It's a family member.
No, it's not.
Do you not like have insurance? Do you not like have insurance policies on your dogs and stuff?
The dog insurance policies are bullshit.
No.
They're really not that good here.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a possibility of that until I had this problem. I think it was somebody in here that said something about insurance on the dog. I'm like, I've never heard. Nobody's ever come to me and been like, "You want insurance on your dog?"
Well, look at American insurance anyway. It's not going to be good. You think they're going to give dogs the same benefit?
Well, I mean, health insurance sucks, so it probably is the same.
the premiums that you'll have to pay before they'll even pay a penny will probably be outrageous.
Well, even my son that gets a large amount of help from insurance on bills, if I added it all up, I'd still be, 75% probably. I paid more than 75% of what I've taken back. So, any insurance is a bust. Biscuit.
Yes?
Mute.
I have to leave. See you soon. Bye.
Oh, see you, Anna. It was good talking to you.
Bye. See you, Anna.
Cheers.
See you later,
see
Anna.
you, Anna.
Been good to see you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
I liked hearing about Anna's food tonight.
Wiener Schnitzel?
It was a lot of sausage. It was meat cased in animal intestines, potatoes, and sauerkraut. What you would expect.
Who's Miss C? Max Headroom.
What?
Are they calling in? I tried getting some people to call in, so it could be
Max Headroom, Miss C, MSC, Miss C, like a woman. Miss.
Is it a woman? Let her in.
from YouTube.
I don't know if it's a woman. It's a picture of Max Headroom. How about Dr. Stephen? Dr. Stephen Miller? Anybody?
Do we have a doctor here?
Dr. Miller.
We
do
can't
have one.
We should get a pastor in here too.
I can't vouch for either one of them, but what's it gonna do, Smokesteve? What's it gonna do?
Oh, we've got one.
How would your life be affected if they came on and did the worst thing possible? Give it a chance. Roll with it.
All right, we got one certified psychopath here. Base Welshman.
See? What could go wrong?
What's up, dude?
What could possibly go wrong?
Good evening, all.
How you doing, man? Welcome.
All right.
Yes.
What have you?
Base, what do you think? Do you think Smokesteve should let these people? I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Smokesteve has these fears of the feds coming to his front door, banging it down, and be like, "You let somebody on YouTube last night, and they showed a cock. We are gonna confiscate all of your."
Did you get bombed?
On here one time, so we should be fine.
No, I got bombed.
Well, he's been bombed in the past, but he hasn't been bombed tonight.
Well, I get bombed every Saturday night by my own drinking, but
so let him bomb.
But the truth of it is, I try to avoid it.
It's not a problem to get bombed. As long as you get it down quick, it shouldn't really be a problem.
Right. It adds more than it subtracts, Smokesteve.
Yeah.
These two people could be the most intellectual. We're gonna learn more from these two people that are waiting to come on than we've ever learned from anybody ever that's called into the show. And you're not gonna know unless you click that add 'em to the show button.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss their name for a start, how fake their name is, etc. We can sort of edge our guesses.
Well, one of them's in the private chat. All you guys have access to that. Max
Let's have
and
a-
Trim.
Trigger.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
He's a genius. Let's go.
Right.
It's Based is here now. It's called the back chat. Don't get it
That's
wrong.
a certified.
Okay, this is the guy you always get. He spams it really quick and he just splats it down. That's his MO.
Or
Hey!
we could debate.
Speaking of back, there's Martin.
Martin, man, now that would, if we could get him to join on, that would spark this baby right
Yeah,
up.
that would kick it over the. It would just
I've,
put it
I've
over
been,
the top.
I've been on Twitter Spaces all night causing carnage.
What is that?
It's funny. It's funny as fuck. Twitter Spaces. I can trigger them really good on there.
What is Twitter Spaces? Is that a new?
Yeah, it's like a new feature on Twitter. It's like you can have 12 speakers, and then you can have like 10,000, 100,000 people listening,
Okay.
or in like our case, it's like 10 or 50 or 100, like
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good.
Is it cam too, or just voice?
It's just voice, but what I think they need to add is YouTube chat, not tweets. You can add tweets to a thread, but I don't want to add tweets. I just want to chat, like a Twitter chat. You know what I mean? About the panel.
There's no constant chat flowing through.
No, but I think
Oh.
they'll definitely upgrade it. It's good though.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
all
It's what it's missing. It's what it's missing. If you have that,
right.
then it'll be really like comparing with YouTube and a picture, of course, because at the moment it's just audio.
Yeah, but it's
So
all
if you comment on, like, if you go into one of those and there's a bunch
Yeah.
of people talking like this is, but you don't see them, and you have something to say about it, it's gonna be like a tweet that you would tweet out.
No, you press the request button. They then accept your request. Hopefully, they might check your profile or something. Or I get banned straight away. Sometimes just block me, and then you just you try and wait your turn. Then you request to speak when you, but it's good. I enjoy it. There are big
Right.
numbers in some of the chats in there. There's always something going on. Lots of crypto bullshit though. Lots of that shit.
Yeah. Crypto's out.
But 80% crypto. That's what it is. By 80% of it is crypto. Though. Fucking hell.
Like crypto talk.
Yeah, like loads of bullshit crypto shit.
Oh,
You
who
know,
wants to talk about crypto?
fuck that.
It's like MySpace. Let's have
Michael?
a call-in show about MySpace.
Yeah, I think I got a ton of porn bombers. Michael Fample. Hey,
That's a good name. That's a good name.
Just let them in. Come on.
No, you can't vouch, right?
No.
Michael
I can't.
Michael Fanbull is a dodgy as fuck name.
Hello, he says. Yeah, it's totally gonna be porn.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
You're
Hey, Martin.
you're building the audience here, Smokesteve.
It'll be guaranteed sex or gay sex immediately when I click on it.
Where's my grande tonight? Where's my entertainment? I'm just disappointed.
Dude, I had audio issues for the first from 30 to 40 minutes when I clicked everybody on. What was it, Aphid? I couldn't hear anybody, right?
Yeah, you couldn't hear anybody.
Dude, I went through everything, the settings, fucking everything. And
You got to go back out and come back in, innit?
I had to end the broadcast. Was that
Yeah.
stupid? Was there a way I could have not ended it?
Yeah. You can come out for about 20 minutes. And if you don't come back within 20 minutes, it ends the stream.
So
So the-
X off, close all my tabs, but leave it live. I could have tried that.
Yeah.
It was obviously a StreamYard problem.
It
Yeah.
definitely was. Because I could hear you guys with about a 13 to 14 second delay and talk to you on YouTube.
You had McGrande's internet, did you?
Yeah. but thereby proving that
Yeah.
my microphone and headphones worked and that my StreamYard was the only aspect that was faulty. So it was simple.
StreamYard has massive audio problems. If, for example, I take my headphones out now, it won't go loudspeaker. It'll go just. I'll get nothing, and I put my headphones back in, and then I get nothing again. So I'll have to come out and come back in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no big deal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Lee, how's your week? What's going on in your world, buddy? We having a little red wine, or is that?
Yeah, good, busy. Good. So no Diet Coke and vodka tonight. So
Right on.
Yeah.
No ice.
oh, I had some red wine earlier. That was nice. But yeah, everything's cool all on the level, I suppose. So yeah,
Good.
which is nice. So,
Any issues on your end with the everything's done with COVID, right? Like for you guys in the UK, that's it, right? Like we're done. It's
Well,
over.
I was always done.
Right,
say that
we know
again.
that.
I couldn't hear you.
Like it's over with the COVID, right? Like there's no fucking no shit anymore. It seems like.
It's
Is
called
it that way
it's,
for you guys?
it's called natural immunity.
Seemingly, but society-wise, it's like
Yeah.
gone. It seems like it's literally gone.
Yeah. It's because natural immunity wins every time.
That's just crazy. And I don't know, the whole thing with the balloons. It seems like there was one balloon, and then what do we shoot down?
The rest was propaganda.
Like 3 hobby balloons? Like
Yep. 400,000 £400,000 missile that they missed the first time. They hit the seconds, and they said it was a $12 balloon. $12. I couldn't quite believe the price they gave, but they said a $12 balloon.
I even heard up to, shockingly, $150. And not only is it a $400,000 missile, it was about $1 million for them to.
I think
Yeah.
you're a bit mistake. Are you on about the Chinese balloon?
Not the first one. The first one was real, dude. That was a
Yeah.
big boy. Then
Yeah,
it was
that
all
was
these
prob- that was
once over
probably
fucking.
about-
All these
That was
geeks,
probably-
these hobby geeks, these hobby geek
the
balloonists.
The first balloon would have been about £100,000. Well, 100,000 worth of balloon. They are expensive. Them
Yeah,
high altitude balloons.
But
That one was-
we're on about the Idaho flying geeks that like flying like hobby balloons. That's what they
Yeah.
shot down with £400,000 missiles.
And like $1 million per mission to take these planes off, fuel them, maintenance. They're not cheap.
Exactly.
Hilarious. They thought.
Sorry.
Go ahead, dude.
It's funny though, and it's so funny, Steve. I just want to chirp in. It's a crazy. How they miss it? Did the missile to sort of? Did the balloon bend around the missile, or did they actually just miss the balloon? I don't know. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it
Did
is.
you see? I'm trying to find. I'm just trying to find this image. This is the best joke I saw about the balloon. I don't know if you can read that. You can see that.
Real quick.
Right, so there's the picture.
Yes.
There's.
You're gonna have to read it out, mate.
Can you read that? Yeah.
Man follows balloon for 400 miles, then realizes it's bird shit on his window.
Yeah, it was all propaganda for UFOs because they didn't want the Nord Stream pipeline being the main headline of what shit's going on at the moment. So they had to
That were months ago.
No, it was months ago that it happened, but it's the same time last week that all this UFO bollocks happened. No, it is all bollocks. The Nord Stream pipeline report got released by the Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative author Seymour, and he said, American citizen, he said, "Oh yeah, the Yanks did it." He used the evidence. They've done it in June.
I think the politically correct term now is aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, but what they wanted to do, they wanted to cover up the evidence of this investigation, and say there was UFOs, and there wasn't UFOs ever. Well, there might be UFOs, but all that was bullshit, smoke and mirrors.
Well, technically, the first one was a UFO because it was an unidentified flying object, and they didn't know exactly what it was. They
Well,
knew where it came from and what it was.
they knew it was
roughly, but they didn't-
Chinese. They actually admitted it in the end, didn't they, the Chinese? They said, "Well,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
What a bit,
what's
of
up?
course." Yeah.
They didn't. They'd never admitted that it was military,
Hello?
did they? They just said it was. We knew it.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
I'm on the low.
Oh, bloody hell. Blazing. Oh, it's a rock. It was a rock formation. It was
Hey,
a,
Turn it off.
Face.
I was just unzipping my pants. What are you
Welshman.
doing?
Well,
I told you.
Max Headroom,
you know-
you are
you know-
so mistaken. You don't even know what a UFO is.
All right, now Max Headroom wants me to let him in.
Do it.
Whoa. Dude,
I got-
Fucking
don't you, Smokesteve, don't you feel better for letting that on? I mean, come on.
yeah, just call it a rock formation or something. I don't know.
No, now I know they're all going to be porn.
Don't give the algorithm chance.
Yeah, you know they are because they're not showing themselves.
Am I wrong? But was he shitting and coming at the same time? I didn't
Yes.
know that was possible.
multitasking.
Oh, bloody hell.
Couldn't even keep that shit in the toilet.
Talk about
I gotta step
you-
away for a minute. I gotta see if something's possible.
YouTube algorithm. I've released a video, and it said age restricted, and I thought, well, it shouldn't really be. Someone got spat on, my mate, and so I then downloaded the video again. I give it a different title, and it's allowed it. YouTube allowed it under a different title, but the content's the same. Isn't that funny? It's all fucked up.
Clive Handforth was trying to get in. Handforth.
You gotta let him on.
Wait, Gary Carmichael updates. All right, Gary Carmichael updates in the chat. Hi, Gary Carmichael updates. How you doing, buddy? Aphenlip texted some guys, and now they're all here to porn bomb you. Thanks, dude.
None of these guys came from me.
Thanks, buddy. Gary Carmichael updates.
Where is my grande though? So, on a serious note, where's my grande?
He was here
you didn't
earlier
have no
on the other
material.
stream, but
He's still talking on the other stream.
That's funny. Well played. This is a CIA op. Not bad. It's not, though.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Hey, Fed, who did you invite over here? Man, it was Al.
Thanks, Gary Carmichael updates. I appreciate that.
I don't know if I should say them in case some of them are watching, but it was the same Skype group that had the mass murderer from.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh, bloody hell!
Tucson.
It's one of his degenerate left-wing sort of sites.
No, I guarantee you. That's not the case.
Sorry, I just had to throw it in. That's all.
Problem at all. Based Welshman, you were at a few protests recently. I saw.
Oh, were they? Let's hear about it.
What was up with that, Welshman?
Which
Well,
one?
that one where there was two. One where there seemed to be a cop who, as some people said, seemed to be on something, who absolutely flipped out and almost pushed a guy over for touching him.
Yeah.
Seemed kind of like that's how an American cop would act. You don't touch a cop, and you should expect to get pushed hard if you fucking touch a cop. That one didn't seem as odd to me as it seemed like you guys, some of the people there were shocked, like that the cop reacted in such a way.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was intelligence, so he had a camera, and he just went right up to the chap and filmed him. But if you look, he leans into the chap, and the man he reacts stupidly, which then gets this like, you know, no de-escalation involved there, just escalation. Just gets that response. But when you look at it and you break it down, you can see that's what the copper wanted. He got what he wanted.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, in the U.S., the cop would have arrested him and charged him with assault of an officer,
Yeah.
and he would
Sure.
have been fucked for putting his hands on a cop like that.
Yeah.
And it was, like you just alluded to, it was foolish for him to raise his hands and sort of gently as it was, sort of nudge the cop away. I mean,
Yeah.
but he did do that. And
It's what the copper wanted, wasn't it? It was exactly what the copper wanted.
so, what was this protest about? What was the purpose?
So the protest was in Oxford, and it was about 15-minute cities. We're in the UK now, and they're doing it in America too. They're making. They're saying they're making your city within 15 minutes of your house, which is just prone to failure. And if you leave your house in a vehicle over 100 times a year, and you leave that 15 minutes over 100 times a year, you will get fines unless you have special permission from the council to give those reasons. So if you had two cars, then it would be 50 times for each car, obviously. And any amounts over the 100 times a year, you need permission or get £70 fine at the moment.
For what are they? What is the fine for? Burning gas, like
Yeah,
excessive gas use?
yeah. It's trying to go for like zero CO2, but it's just prone to failure because Britain's very much. We get industrial areas and then you get residential areas. It's not split the way you know. If you can imagine, it's where it's all in 15 minutes. If we want to go shopping, we go to a shopping area, yeah, like a big shopping area. So, and what they're doing, they're pushing traffic around the town. So they're just making other roads more congested. So instead of traveling 1 mile to get to destination, in Oxford, they had to travel like 9 miles. The examples they were giving, they had to go all the way around the town to get to where they needed to, only like 1.5 miles down the road.
Right, you're saying as the crow flies, it's 1 mile away, but you've got to go all the way around half the city to get to it.
Yeah, under this new scheme.
That's stupid, yeah.
That's completely stupid. And I heard a stat recently that the UK produced 2% of the carbon in the world. So if we just fell off the map and just, you know, that was that, it wouldn't make any difference to any global warming because the likes of China are on 33%, going up fucking 5 points a year or whatever it is. None of it makes any sense. It's about control. And then they're going to do it via you call them number plates as well? Yeah, number plates. So
license plates.
Yeah, license plates, sorry, yeah. So yeah, via our license plates will be the way they'll track us.
Huh. Well, what if you want to go to the country and, you know, look at a rare bird or something? You know,
well, you can, as long as you're within your 100 times a year.
So the distance of the trip doesn't matter?
Yes. It does, because if, for example, your trip's over 15 minutes, that's why they call them 15-minute cities. So that Oxford, for example, if you Googled it, it would show Oxford in 6 quarters, and that basically you need to stay in that quarter.
Interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Bottle Cap's agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's going on in Canterbury. My hometown, Cardiff, has signed up to it. One down the road, Swansea has. Another 100 cities in the UK have already signed up to it.
Talk about virtue signaling, because, like you said, India, China, and various other countries have more than 50% of their energy comes from coal.
Yeah.
So you see what those coal plants put out compared to a little British fucking shitbox mini car. There's nothing. It's like minuscule. It's even 1 million cars is like nothing compared to the amount of carbon that these power plants put out.
Yeah,
That doesn't matter.
But that's if these developing countries or these developed countries actually do try and keep to their targets, which is an impossibility for them to keep in the first place. So
yeah, India said basically 2050 is an impossible goal for them
yeah,
to stop coal. I mean, it's fucking impossible.
so it doesn't matter what we do. It really doesn't matter. So all we're doing is putting our heating bills up, our cost of living up, everything up, so it becomes sort of unattainable to the masses in the end. I think that's what the plan is in the end.
I mean, I have no problem with using the natural, like solar. Solar seems like a good way to go. I don't know if you guys have looked into it for your houses. No?
I can't.
I'm not letting them fuck up my roof. And then on top of it, if there's a fire, I'm not going to risk that.
I know, and it is kind of funny you're converting solar into electricity to turn it back into light. I mean, essentially, most.
Is there a bunch of destroying of the planet trying to get this solar energy into my house?
Is there what?
Is there a bunch of destroying the planet trying to, like do we gotta like use a bunch of
Fossil fuels to make it up.
Kill the planet more to
get
the crystal or whatever it is.
They do say that. They do say that at AFID with like Teslas and stuff. They say, for example, if you bought a vehicle and held it for 15 years, it would still be better than buying like a Tesla. You would still use less carbon over that period than buying a Tesla. Because, like I said, it's mined in Canada, then goes to China or something back for. It's just like so much goes on with the minerals to make it in the first place and all the other stuff.
Yeah, I think
some of this stuff I think looks like sweet, like, oh wow, we don't have to like burn oil or whatever, or dig a hole in the ground and pull this oil out of the center of the earth to, power our vehicles or whatever. But is it robbing some other thing that's making, because there's no doubt that we're destroying this planet. We're no different than any other fungus or living organism that's consuming whatever it can to further itself in life. We're definitely doing that to this planet.
Yeah.
So if we can figure out a way to do that without, but sometimes I think that like the electric cars or whatever, just sound good because they're different, but we don't look at the whole picture of it, and we're actually doing more danger to the planet by doing it that way than we are.
We're obviously damaging the planet in the sense of the seas, clearly, and land, throughout the land. I mean, you think about when you put walls up, what you're doing to nature, etc. But what was my point? Fuck, what was I getting at? Is it causing climate change as a whole? And I don't believe it does. I believe that when you actually go back through the years, not up to what they want to go the last 100 years. When you start going back hundreds of years, the Earth was much hotter, much greener, full of huge amounts of CO2, and there was no industrial revolution then. The planet just changed.
I don't know. I just feel like this is the whole thought of like dealing with this problem, because it is a problem, is too political. It's like, well, this guy that I don't like thinks this way. So I don't want to even come close to even rationalizing with what he's got to say about the subject. So I'm going to listen to this guy.
Is it a huge problem right now? No. Is it a huge problem right now?
I mean, I think it's a problem that's I think we are definitely destroying this planet. Yeah.
Well, you think the carbon? The carbon is destroying the planet?
Just our presence on this Earth, I don't think is very productive to the the health
But-
of
Yeah, but
the
is
Earth.
does it affect the climate? Is maybe the good question then to sort of
I
find
mean,
a way.
I don't know if I don't think anybody's got the answer to that question. I mean,
No.
there's
Just
obvious like there's obvious like we can look around and you know we're all old enough to know that the Earth is definitely different now than it was when we were younger. You know, did we cause that, or is it the natural process of the Earth? I don't know. Is there a rapid increase in the difference in temperature than in the past? You know, like not just like did the Earth go through this phase or did the Earth go through that phase? Like, can we have proof that 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 the increase or decrease of the temperatures and things that we need on this planet to survive are going at a more rapid pace than they did, you know, a million years ago. And
What do you mean that since you were a child things have changed since
it's a minuscule.
now?
definitely think
Like for everything else. I'm just being honest.
Like-
Like what?
yeah, you know, like the winters here in where I live are definitely more mild to warmer than they were when I was a younger. And there's documented proof that the whole planet is like that.
Yeah. Okay. So the Great Barrier Reef took a huge hit 20 years ago, 10 years ago. I was hearing stories that there won't be a barrier reef. It's
Right.
it's collapsed. I think a lot of us
Right.
heard it. Right now, if you Google Great Barrier Reef revival, it's the best it's been for over 50 years. Right,
Okay.
but they don't advertise that bit. But you know, remember 20 years ago, 15, 12 years ago, it was like literally it's fucked, and I thought it was fucked too because you know you believe it sometimes, temperatures and all that, acidic water. Turns out it's fucking thriving.
Well, you gotta ask yourself: are you focusing in on one positive when there's 20 negatives?
It's a wonder of the world that all the scientists said it was in self-destruction mode because there were basically there was matter growing in there. What's it called? The coral. There was eating the other coral, and it was just destroying. The water was too acidic for it, so it was just bleaching it out, and it was fucked. But when you look at it now, it's not fucked. It's the best it's been for decades.
Okay.
So everything they said.
That's one way to look at the world, okay? But another way to look at the world is how many animals have gone extinct and you know, like
You can see it from space, mate.
because you can see it from space.
Well,
Because of
there's
our-
been massive areas of extinction throughout the history of
Well, usually those
of
are
the world.
forced by like, you know, asteroid hitting the planet or a
That's a
volcano
theory.
erupting or something, a large event like that is beyond
Not
control.
necessarily.
But
There's been some massive die-offs.
I understand what you're saying, but if you look at statistically throughout the history of this planet, you know,
Yes.
some large event of mass extinction since the industrial age of man, you know, is far different from unless you see some massive thing like an asteroid hitting the planet or some volcano eruption.
No, I agree. I mean, there's definitely a lot of species. The great auk was a bird that was similar to a penguin that lived all over the east coast of the United States. And, of course, when the explorers got here, they
Dogs.
killed the fuck out of this thing because they could eat it. They were
Yeah.
gone in the 1700s. So, you know, there's a lot of things like that exploration, when they came upon things.
Dogs and rats were the one, weren't they, for a lot of birds? Dogs and rats.
Yeah. There was a bird called the elephant bird, I believe, in Madagascar, maybe. It's like 50% bigger than an ostrich. Of course, it was killed for meat immediately. Because it lived on an island and it was the only population in the world. Gone forever. A lot of that did happen, and a lot of it is still happening. And there are a lot of isolated populations of birds and such on islands that only exist on those islands, that might only be like 10 square miles. So, like English Bottle Cap and Based has pointed out, rats and cats rats and cats brought there by humans, inadvertently released as alien species or whatever, have caused a lot of extinctions. So yeah, I agree. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. Like, okay, if you go through the history of this planet, right?
Yes.
You would certainly, the four of you could agree that there's not a species that's been put on this planet, that's evolved from this planet, that has had more of an influence on every single aspect of this planet than humans have on this planet.
No doubt.
Surely we could all agree on that.
100%. But that doesn't mean I'm like a human hater who says we're destroying the world. Like, we suck, we're the worst.
Well, I think we I mean, you know, every species, the main goal of every species is to survive and thrive. You know, that's what, you know, that's why they evolve. That's why they so. But since the industrial age of man, there's been no more rapid increase of what what species on this planet has done than human beings have since the history of Earth. Surely you can all agree with that. The past 100 years.
Yeah, it's been a massive change.
There's no species that has made more of an impact on this planet since humans have.
Of course. No question.
So yeah, but I'm just saying that in my feeble brain that you know, in the past 100 years of the millions of years that this planet has been there, you know, maybe we need to take a deep look at ourselves. And,
well,
and think in the long period, the short period that we have made influence, what we're going to do in the future, and maybe we should try to be somewhat aware of our impact of what could happen.
Okay, when you put it,
you're
put it into context.
About a country here. You can't have a myopic viewpoint and say, I'm going to do this and switch to that, when halfway across the world they're burning fucking truckloads of coal every 5 minutes.
I get you. But that's still us. We are still that same. We are them.
Yeah, but
the whole view of things. We are them. Like if you're an alien and you came and you looked at this planet and you were like, I'm gonna check these guys out for 1,000,000 years. You know, like some India or some Chinese guy, you know, he's not different from the overall picture of that's us. You know, that we are them. You know, just because they live in a different part of the world doesn't mean we're not.
Yeah, but at the same stage, you know, you said, like the last 100 years, there's been a massive change, and you know, the Earth's been here for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, it's a pin drop. It's a pin drop, right? It's a fucking pin drop. When you go back, the climate's changed dramatically, and they can prove this from the ice pack. They do all the ice testing, don't they? You know, Krakatoa. There was no sunlight in one part in the northern hemisphere, I think, of the world for over 2 seasons or something. I mean, it was reported in London. They knew it was. They knew in London they had all the soot come down and everything like that in London, for fuck's sake. So yeah, I mean, natural events like Krakatoa shoved off more carbon than I think we've shoved off in the last 150 years.
I mean, I think that's the point I'm trying to get is we can't control if there's an asteroid going to hit the planet or if a volcano is going to.
Yeah.
But we can control, you know, what we're doing to this planet, and I think that we're doing this planet a disservice.
But we can't.
I'm no different. I'm a complete hypocrite when it comes to this. I waste just as much energy. I throw just as much trash. Waste just as much food as anybody else does.
Yeah, but the globalist wants to kill the public for it, though. The globalists want to kill everything, right? So you can't afford to do anything. That's what the globalists want to do.
I know, but my you got my train of thought is that the globalists aren't right, but the far extremists aren't right either. Somewhere in between is right, and if there's more globalists, they might
Agreed.
push us into doing what's better for this planet
Yeah.
than the far rejectionists that want to
Yeah.
push back against. But the rejectionists are important too, because they need to push back, because you get to a point where you can't just throw this shit in our face and it's going to work, because it won't. We'll revolt against it. We need a little balance and a little yin and a little yang to get us in the middle to where. So everybody's important when it all comes down to it. Is the way I see it.
Yeah, but if California got their way now and everyone went electric by 2025, I think is their target, right? Their grids can't even cope with the electric they're using now. They're telling residents and emailing residents to switch off their ACs in peak times, right? Yet they want everyone to buy an electric car. This is full-on clown world. There's no infrastructure set up, right?
I couldn't agree with you more. But I also can't agree that that's what I'm saying. There's not going to be a person that comes around and tells everybody what to do and everybody's going to follow. That's not how humans work. Humans need pushback from one direction and humans need pushback from another direction, and we need to figure things out in the center. And that's why I think both sides are important. I think that the crazies that think that we should let cows fart from here on out are just as important as you that's fighting back to say that they're crazy for thinking that.
It's the burping, not the farting.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's honestly it's the burping. They always say it's the farting for some reason.
And that's why I can't pick a side, because I'll never be able to pick a side, because I don't agree with either side.
I agree with getting rid of really obviously dirty fossil fuels in a lot of ways, but at the same stage that there is very clean ways of growing of using coal now, which I believe in fracking, which a lot of people don't believe in, but when America went fracking with Trump and he threw everything at it, you went self-sufficient for the first time in modern history. It's crazy, and then Biden comes in, closes down the pipeline, and closes down all fracking, and says, "No, that's it. We're going to go electric. Big up electric."
I don't know what, Aphid, if you found out, let's say, if you voted for a certain conservative that you didn't necessarily agree with, I already know Topple's answer, and he was going to come in and basically gain energy independence for the United States in 2 years, maybe 18 months, and it would reduce your utility consumption bills by 75%. So Topple would be down to $200 to $300 for electric and probably whatever for gas, the same thing. Would you vote for that person?
Well, I mean, are you asking me?
Yeah.
I vote with my gut at a certain time. Do you
vote with your
I
wallet?
vote for conservative. I vote for Democrats. I vote for both of them.
I would have a hard time passing that up, because right now it's a huge
depends
strain
on what
on the money on the wallet is the fucking
Yeah.
bills, dude.
Yeah.
It depends on what state of mind that I'm in at the current time. Most of people don't have that luxury. They're mostly like, I'm gonna be totally against anything that a Democrat wants, and I'm gonna be totally against anything a Republican wants. And there's nothing. Oh, it looks like you got somebody that knows how to cut and paste. I see my private chat is zooming in the back chat as.
Wow.
But anyway, what I was gonna say is like me owning my own business, there's certain times where taxes are killing me, so I'm gonna vote for the guy that is not gonna be against, is gonna be against raising any taxes.
They all say that
at all. But then there's other times when then I'm gonna be against having food at a certain price, and I'm going to vote for the guy that's going to be working more on that. You know, it's
What are you being
and
super-
it really, for me, it comes a lot to do with like who makes more sense. You know, like some people when they get up there and speak, they make more like the Trump guy never made sense to me. Nothing
Okay, Aphids. Okay, I was just going to, before you mention his name, I was going to say, so, by Trump making you fuel efficient, well, where you were then selling fuel out, right? Was that a bad idea?
No, the whole fuel thing is stupid. I think the like.
Well,
like,
it was good,
we
good or
want to
bad.
stop. We want to stop fracking, but pay more money to somebody else that gets it a different way. That doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense to me.
yeah, exactly.
But
So,
with Trump, there's never been there's never been a thing in my mind that I didn't like him, and it's because of just
yeah, but you cannot like
his
him and
bullshit.
like a policy. You know, being fuel efficient, gas and oil, petrol, it's not a bad thing, and he done it in like 18 months.
Fuel
Right.
independent.
Well, that's why I like Republicans, but I don't like Trump.
Yeah, but you can like that policy of his, can you? And then the first thing Biden did, the Keystone Pipeline, he dropped that, dropped all fracking, dropped all any new developments. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he goes begging to the Saudis 6 months ago, begging to the fucking Saudis, and the Saudis went, oh, fuck off.
No, he's right. He did go begging to the Saudis after he said he was going to pursue justice for Jamal Khashoggi. He
Yeah.
went right to their asses and said, basically, I'm going to ignore that because we need their oil, which was such fucking horseshit, dude. I mean, they fucking cut that. They stabbed that guy in the neck with some poison, and then they took him apart limb by limb and brought him out in suitcases.
In bags, yeah.
And then we're like begging for their oil. It's an
embarrassment.
Biden is pathetic, dude.
The worst thing about that, Steve, as I was telling that story, it developed, didn't it? It developed, and we went on to the Saudis and that guy that got murdered. And it's like, yeah, we just knitted that together naturally, and it's like, what the fuck?
It's crazy, dude. And when it comes down to it, the thing I actually did like about Trump was his desire for energy independence and his willingness to point out how foolish other countries were to stop it, and then only then to turn around to their essentially enemy countries and buy oil from them or gas.
Steve, you on about that speech he made? And I've got that speech on my channel if you want to see it.
Yeah.
The German delegates were laughing at Trump. They were laughing at him, going, why would you rely on a traditional enemy to supply your energy needs? And they were going, ha 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 ha, laughing away they were. And that was 2017, I think he said that. And you know, we all know where Germany are at now. They can't really do fuck all. They got to play this chess game because Russia could shut them down, still shut them down.
Yeah, we had Anna on here telling us she was spending like $675 on gas per month in an apartment.
Yep.
Dude, fucking crazy. Marty, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Steve.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. I'd just like to make it clear that I'm not Levi.
All right.
Yeah, I hate Snickers bars too.
You're not leaving.
No, Levi.
In the back chat, he says he hates Snicker bars. I'm thinking I agree.
Oh. Wow. Look at that.
I know.
Yeah, he's run down. You are not Levi, Marty. We know that. Thank you.
Well, how about
Thank you,
this?
buddy.
Take this back because I like to do this every month. Smokesteve, if you had to vote for go back and vote for one person, and it had to be one of them, Trump or Biden. You can't do an independent vote. You can't say I'm not going to vote.
This is it. Because he would have got independent, wouldn't he?
Everyone else is independent, and it's just like because they're too scared to say Trump.
Cop out. It was a cop out, wasn't it? Straight cop out. Good call, that is.
Well, unfortunately, in my world, there's always the independent vote. That's
No, we said you couldn't use that. Come on, Steve.
So
Don't do that.
that's why.
Yeah, because then I wouldn't vote. I have no answer for you. You can't, you know.
Yes, you can.
You can. You're just choosing not to. Come on,
Choose
Steve.
one.
Come on. Energy sufficient, or begging 18 months left of the Saudis.
Not even that. Look at all the other shit he's done.
Afghanistan.
I don't think this guy has done anything positive since he's been in office. And unless someone could prove me wrong, nothing. He has done nothing but made things worse.
It was the right thing. It was the right thing to pull out of Afghanistan, but the way it happened was a total embarrassment to everyone involved, including the allies.
Well, there was problems, but I didn't.
Disgrace.
We've discussed it before. I don't think there was going to be another way to get out of there. It was ugly, but the whole thing was ugly. And those poor, I believe they were Marines, correct me if I'm wrong, who got blown up on like the last day or two that they were there. That was bullshit, but again, that was like a regional or sectional deficiency. You can't go blaming Biden because they didn't have the right vetting for people getting through the line. Those people jumping off, hanging on the fucking airplanes. I mean, Jesus Christ, that wasn't our fault.
Okay. So if it was done in order, right? If it was done in some sort of order, none of that would have happened. Now, Trump has said in the last 18 months of only had the agreement with the Taliban, no U.S. Serviceman or civilian has been killed in Afghanistan in 18 months. So what they would have done, they would have done it in an organised manner, and it would have just been the army left. There would have been no civilians left. All the civilians would have gone months ago, and it would have just been the army left. And that it just collapsed because there was no order. Let's leave 8-9 Apache helicopters worth fucking how many billions each, and whatever else they fucking left. All the other shit. My mate Callum done a report in Afghanistan. He could buy anything in the market, all US made, anything. In fact, it's in his video. There's so much there that they just left.
Yeah.
None of that would have been left like that. They would have left stuff, of course, but stuff that would have anything that could have been leaked to the Chinese or the Russians that have been destroyed or taken away. There was all sorts of shit left. It's all been fucking ripped by the Chinese already.
I mean, you can buy a lot over there, right? It's what it is. I don't know much about
it's a really good video. He's had like over 1 million views on it. He has, my mate. He went out there on his own and spent like over 2 weeks out there.
I've seen some of his stuff.
Callum, his name is.
Yeah, I have seen it. For sure.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Scary
Marty,
shit, man. Sorry.
Topple's too shy to say that he thinks you look sexy tonight.
God damn it.
He's too shy to say it on the stream. So I'm not too shy, Marty. I thought I would let you know and help Topple out.
Got a bit weird, hasn't it?
You try that.
Indeed, my friend, indeed. Hey, do you guys fancy yourselves fans of the cartoon strip Dilbert?
You got something to show? Sounds like you got something to show.
Have you heard about this Dilbert guy?
I know about Dilbert.
Was he racist now or something?
You heard about him then?
Oh, he's
It's a
being
cartoon
canceled?
strip.
No, I haven't.
Oh, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head, Top.
Everyone's.
See it. Dilbert's getting canceled. I had no idea.
Well, not Dilbert, the cartoon character. Dilbert's author.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's done.
These
for.
authors, you got to watch these authors.
Yeah, these
Roald Dahl and
yeah. These problematic words. Can't say fat. Fat is problematic. Can't say fat
What's
now.
the one that does?
What
What's
was
the one
said?
that does?
What was
Huh?
said? What did Dilbert say? Or his
Yeah, what Dilbert say?
partner?
Well, dude, it's highly offensive.
Oh,
Dilbert
What?
was?
Good,
Come
good,
on.
good.
It's the author. It's not Dilbert. It's the
But what did
author.
he say? What did he say?
Brought it up, Smokesteve. Don't dangle the
What-
candy and don't show us.
ah.
Give us a piece.
Well, this is off of a show called Jesse Dollamore, who's a left-wing liberal who's go ahead and he's going to feature a story about this guy who is named Scott Albums. Scott Albums, Jesus Christ.
That's an Aryan name.
Scott Adams, the Dilbert guy. All right.
Oh,
so-
I heard about something like this. Okay.
Did you?
I saw
All
the
right.
Scott Adams bullshit, but I didn't read into it.
What was the problem words? What was the problem words? Was
What
it
is
things
it?
like
Yeah, let's see
tiny? Yeah, was it tiny or small or something problematic?
No. It's a lot bigger than tiny, homeboy. All right, let me get some beer for this. All right, it's on. I'll
Gonna
be
get drink himself through
5
this.
seconds.
Randall,
You need a
Is-
watermelon comment.
they're changing words
He
from
said fat. That's how dare him
Fat.
say fat.
yeah fat to they said gigantic. Gigantic's okay, but fat's not.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right,
Yeah.
so
I feel much more comfortable now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
what I'm gonna precede this with saying I don't agree with what this guy said.
In advance,
And,
I agree with you. I don't agree either. It's just
I think it's I'm gonna start it out by saying I am offended by it.
Oh, it's
And
like it.
I think it is rather shocking for somebody to say this sort of thing.
Oh,
Oh.
But it is on his YouTube channel currently, so I don't feel bad about sharing it, and I don't feel bad about discussing it. And this
But you
is
did-
not how I personally feel before
But you
I
feel-
share this.
But you feel offended, so that's the main
I
thing.
think it's a bit offensive, so we can discuss that after we watch
Okay.
it.
his feels are hurt.
Feels.
All right, you guys see that full screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we see it.
things.
He's a,
But normal, regular, everyday Americans need to know about the virulent racism that's being spewed, the vitriol, the hatred being spewed by Scott Adams, the Dilbert guy, about black Americans. Watch this.
But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activity.
this head.
I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it, you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where I have a very low black population, because unfortunately there's a high correlation between the density. This is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to Black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no.
Wow.
Canceled. Canceled.
Wow, that's crazy.
Fucking
That is
canceled,
crazy.
dude.
So can you tell me what wasn't factually correct about some of those statements?
It's the way he said it, and it's not blacks, it's culture.
But he was factually correct with some of the stats, was he? Well,
Well, no. What I'm going to say right now, what he's incorrect about is the fact that we're all human beings, and I do believe that there is a place that we can all exist together, white, black, and or otherwise. And I've never judged anybody for other than who they are personally, and certainly never by their skin color.
That's you.
do you think that chap was a Black Lives Matter ally all his life? Because he says he has been.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what he meant by he was an advocate or whatever, but I think what it was, he saw a poll that was taken with like 1,000 people, and maybe like 700 of them said one thing in it. Maybe they took the poll in like an extremely liberal. Maybe the poll was from Berkeley, California. He had no idea. And he's commenting on it like that is the entire width and breadth of society in general, speaking like that poll that he was referring to, he almost thought it seemed to be everybody, all black people thought that way. I think he was a little askew on that one. I mean, we see him all over the internet. It's fucking clickbait, man. Nobody believes that shit, dude.
Yeah, but do you believe in in-group preference?
What does that mean?
So, for example, if you come into the country and you're Sri Lankan, you would go in the Sri Lankan community in, say, London. They'll have an area, just like white people like to move out of the towns because they find that there's too much crime going on. It's too frantic, and if they get a chance, they'll move out of their communities. So like British people, when they go to Spain, they don't buy a house in a Spanish street. They end up buying a house in an apartment block that is mainly occupied by expats, ex-British, maybe Germans as well. But do you understand? It's called like an in-group preference, where it's a natural thing that you just end up hanging out and wanting to spend time and be in the same company. People that look the same as you. It's not a racist thing. It's just a natural human thing.
Right.
Sure. I would tend to say, though, nowadays people tend to want to live in a nice place more so than a gregarious place with their own flock, if you will. Like, I would say quality of life means more than who your neighbors are. At least that's what I think.
There's a term in the UK called white flight, where a lot of people, especially from London, will move out of London and or lots of cities in the UK because they just had enough of the city. It's changed a lot. It doesn't look or act or behave like it used to when they grew up, and they just don't want a part of it anymore. So they move out and to the suburbs if they can and afford to, obviously.
Little message from your buddy Dafta there.
What's up, man? Something Dafta?
That's your Dafta.
I don't use Discord ever. I hate it.
The thing is, I see what he's saying, but I think he worded it really wrong.
Sorry, you sounds really bad.
Well, he basically was like he said that there was a percent. he was totally disregarding the percentage of that group of people that he was talking about that agreed with him, and he was just focusing all his attention on the people that disagreed, which is what most people do with their problems.
In
Yeah.
that particular poll, which was a small subgroup.
I mean, if you get enough people, like I'd say more than 100, you're going to get a pretty good, representation of how that group feels.
Ouch.
Yeah, if they interview a wide range of people, but like you said, if you, for example, interview 1,000 people all from a university, you're just gonna get this fucking liberal cucked woke nonsense. Yeah, that needs to be spread out through the age groups and demographics, obviously. But yeah, I think 1,000 would be enough to give it good.
Is that Jimmy Rizzo? Are you kidding me? Give him the link. Good Lord, how'd Jimmy Rizzo find us?
Disco
Good
lights
Lord.
and everything?
Oh my God, Jimmy
Rizzo.
Oh my God. He's got disco lights.
Jimmy, it's in the description, Jimmy.
Don't point that
I'm
out.
glad Jimmy Rizzo's still with us.
Ixnay on the
if
description.
I speak for everybody, but for me, I am glad that Jimmy is still among us.
Rizzo. Oh, look, of course. Cup of tea. Put Rizzo on, yeah.
Jimmy,
He had a funny head, that chap, though, didn't he? It was like a comedy head. It was literally like an egg, wasn't it? It was shaped like an egg.
He had a small top to his head, yes.
Yes. It was like long and narrow.
Yeah. I apparently he has a whole YouTube channel where he just spouts off and.
Oh, did you subscribe?
Well, no. After this thing came up, I looked into it, and he's losing like big newspapers for the Dilbert cartoon because of what he just said there.
The Dilbert guy.
The
Not
Dilbert
Jimmy.
guy. No, not Jimmy. No. Jimmy, no.
Yeah, he's going to end up like being cancelled, isn't he?
Jimmy's screwed for that video. Jimmy, or whatever, the Dilbert guy. He's screwed for that video you just showed.
You almost said dildo, I think.
What was he thinking? What was he thinking saying that?
But would you that he's racist for saying that? Would you say he's racist for that, though?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't say he was racist for that, but this is the same thing that goes back to what's the guy that Smokesteve fawns over that gets under my skin?
Me.
No, really similar to you. What's his name? The guy that has his own show and his own following, does the shorts all the time.
Drone Tech.
Drone Tech.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, I'm talking about Drone Tech. He said at one point that he couldn't share his views. He couldn't be true to himself anymore, especially about the January 6th thing, because he was losing too many, people over it. And the people that kept his channel going were people that didn't want to hear about like him sympathizing with how maybe it was wrong a little bit. And he needed to go like full bore. So, like the Dilbert guy should have followed Drone Tech's advice.
So what's full bore for? I don't know what does full bore mean?
Well, like Drone Tech was like he didn't think that January 6th was right, but he
had to take it down. Yeah.
He put it aside and went like full bore into like January 6th was cool. Just so he could keep his
but you could say that about any serious channel out there, that they do obviously tailor their stories to tailor their stories to suit certain things.
What I'm saying based is fuck that shit. You stay true to yourself. And I feel bad that if like Drone Tech, that's what's your living? I don't know if that's your living, but that's Drone Tech's living.
92p last month.
He has to put it aside and cater to what his viewers want and change his opinion, because that guy used to be a liberal. He admitted here on this show that Drone Tech used to be a liberal.
He's not
And
anymore.
now
Though.
he's like, not anymore. And
Now,
that's bullshit, dude. You don't change what's up.
A lot
don't
of
think
people,
that.
a
I
lot
don't
of conservatives start liberal.
That's not true.
True.
No.
think so.
Fawn's over. I wouldn't consider. I don't fawn over him. Per
I know.
se.
I put it to it. But you like. I don't mean to be disrespectful, because Smokesteve, I put you on a pedestal higher.
No, it's okay. I'm just kidding around. Anyways.
But you enjoy when he's on here. You get
hell yeah,
and I respect that.
I'm on his Discord. I was on his own Discord live.
I'd rather have 6 people that were open-minded, And I'm not saying you're wrong for thinking that that's cool, that Drone Tech comes on and you get 1,000 views on your videos.
Drone Tech.
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, that's not me. Punk rock, stay till the end. If you don't like me, don't watch my show. You're not welcome. Well, you're all welcome. Everybody's welcome, even if you don't like me.
Yeah, but I do get it. But you've got obviously the pressure that not just Drone Tech, for example, that they're all under, whether they're conservative or liberal. They're independent. They've got to think about their ads, like they do. They got to think about their subs and what their subs are going to do. So that like I said earlier, that sadly, at some point you might have to tailor. Maybe he spoke out because he felt, like I said, he felt bad about it. It was a bad idea. I watched it laughing. I watched it laughing live and thinking, "Oh, this is going to fucking blow up in their faces." This is, but I was still laughing a bit. But I knew while I was watching. I was watching it and I was like, "Oh, this is fucked up. This is just going to fuck up. This is fucked." Because I knew when they were doing it, what was going to happen. And then when you watched it and a couple of days later, and you broke all the lives down where the Capitol Police allowed them to walk in. It was like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy." Setup.
What I'm saying, based, is if you look at the camera and you say what you think, tailoring should not be a part of that. What you're saying to the camera at all.
I agreed, but do you want him to end up like that guy and end up on his ass, cancelling himself because all the woke people are just going to say we're going to cancel him?
That's your decision. It's not mine.
Well, there we are. So you press the self-destruct button on YouTube, or you don't.
Yeah, if I'm the Dilbert guy and that's how I feel, I'm gonna say what the Dilbert guy said. And I respect him for that.
He's already backed down.
Nobody looks. Yeah, but that's a pussy move. The back out is even worse.
I mean, the San Francisco Chronicle probably pays him $3,000 to $5,000 a week for his little fucking Dilbert comic, and you multiply that by 150 newspapers across the country every week. The guy's bringing in tens of millions a year. He's got fucking fuck you money when it comes down to it. He doesn't need it. If you can imagine, dude, Aphid, it's so easy. Dilbert would take you 45 seconds to draw. But yet somehow he got picked up by 200 newspapers. Each pays him $1,000 or $2,000 a week. Imagine? Oh, it's crazy, dude.
In this case, biting your tongue is worth more than tailoring. That's what I'd have to say.
Right. Would you? Yeah.
I'm never going to tailor. I'm never going to tailor. I can't do it. I'm going to say what I feel, and that's the way it is.
Well, see, I've tailored. No, I've tailored a different way. When shit was happening in front of me that couldn't go on camera because it was fighting in a protest, I tailored my camera down that it wouldn't catch the incriminating action. Now, I've said that publicly a few times, and I'll say it again. Yeah, I fucking did. And I'm happy to do that. I don't want people getting in serious trouble for shit that happens over that.
Protecting somebody and portraying you're somebody else is two different things.
Maybe. Just to clarify what my lady's saying here is correct, right?
Aphin means he's playing to his base to keep...
Talking about Aphin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
Exactly.
And then she
Yeah.
follows it
If
up
you're gonna protect somebody that you care
Fox
for,
News.
why not?
Yeah, I made the point earlier on any news. I made the point out conservative or liberal, independent, even corporate, they're all going to come under that same thing.
Nah, but what you said earlier about like most liberals turn into conservatives, maybe
What the
it's
hell
not
happened?
that way. Maybe it's the goalposts keep moving farther to other directions. Where once would be a liberal, but now you're a conservative because how the times have changed.
I can see that being possible. Jimmy,
I'm just a Nazi.
Jimmy.
I'm just called a Nazi for thinking grown men in dresses shouldn't tell stories to kids.
Do you hate gay people? Do you hate
No, I've got no problem with gays or lesbians. I've got a problem with like.
gay people married?
What's that?
Should gay people be allowed to get married?
Yeah, they should have the same rights as a married couple.
They shouldn't be allowed to get married. I don't.
No, of course they should have the same rights. Because but like the church thing's a different matter. But if should they have the same rights as a couple, a married couple? Yes, because if you make that commitment, then you should have the pension or whatever, and all the other things that go with it.
I agree with that, but it being called a marriage, no, I don't agree with.
Wow,
Marriage is a thing.
This is one of the weirdest things about this pub. One of the most liberal guys we have here does not agree with gay marriage, yet the rest of us pretty much do.
I don't.
It's so odd.
I don't agree with it, but I agree that they should have the same rights as a.
Okay, look, if some gay guy is dying in the hospital from some disease or whatever, and his gay partner wants to have the same rights that a married partner would have I'm fine with that. If you want to call it if you want to call it some kind of like unity or whatever you want to call it, it's not a marriage though.
Yeah, but Aphid, is that a MAGA hat you got on there? My eyes are terrible. It's
not a marriage. It's not a marriage. It was defined by a man and a woman. It's not.
Agreed. I agree with you. I agree with you, mate. But they should have. I believe they should have the same rights.
That's fine but then the same thing needs to go to a guy that like wants to live with some old lady and not be married to her, but he's like devoted his life to taking care of this person, and it's some type of unity. It's not a marriage, just like a gay guy and a gay guy. It's not a marriage.
Well, that's different. That's different.
Are you applying religion to it?
No, not at all. It has nothing to do with religion. It's just definition is what it has to do with.
Mr. P.S. Welshman, I think you're a sensible guy, and that's all I need to say to you. I think you're a lovely guy, and these people don't understand you because they're American. And by the way, that's Stephen. Stephen, what would you like to say to me, Stephen, without maybe getting crazy and banning me from your fucking lecture of gayness? You motherfucker. Okay, Stephen?
Oh, Smokesteve.
Hey.
Throw it down, though.
Let's go.
I'm not sure what you're asking there, Jimmy.
Stephen, I guess you knew from the very start, and which I was asking on the microphone, but I guess you didn't hear from the start, did you? My fat bitch.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, Jimmy!
Well, he was my sidekick. He was my my Robin. What's going on here?
I don't think Jimmy realizes that Jimmy used to come on this show a long time ago.
I mean, I don't know.
Jimmy thinks he's on a different show.
What did you do?
Well, I just. I mean, if Jimmy wants to come on, he's more than welcome, but he's not going to come on here and insult me right out of the gate. What the
fuck? How about this?
He's calling everyone on the panel liberal cucks, apart from me.
What?
Yeah.
Marriage.
That's what he says. That was funny.
I want to have him stay on so I can make fun of the guy.
I mean, it's fine. He's more than welcome to come on, but I
All the
mean,
real old people that come on the show hate me, so.
I thought you were old buddies. Yeah, he must have been listening when you said you recognised. Yes, he must have been.
I don't
There you
know.
go.
I don't know what his deal is, but how's that?
Oh, you should have kept him on. Come on.
Anyway,
The problem was, hey, if he's still here, put it in the
He's still here. He bopped back on. He's waiting.
yeah, my friend went to a protest at drag time event today, and he got spat on by some absolute degenerate.
I might just go with it.
And then because he defended himself, he got arrested.
Did he swing?
He just threw him on the floor, and then some other degenerate was pouring something over his head, and he pushed her away.
What was the something he was getting poured over his head?
A drink of some description. I can't remember what it was. So it's all on live stream. So he basically was just filming. It wasn't at the protest. It was around the corner. It's only 42 seconds. I can get the video. And this bloke just come up, this horrific looking bloke, with looked like unshaven, smelly, looked like a tramp. Just walked straight up to him and spat. And it was like brown, the spit was. And
unshaven? Is that a thing? I'm not.
Oh my! I'll send you the video. You view it yourself, and you tell me what you think. It's disgusting.
Send it. I mean, I'm unshaven. Everybody's unshaven. I guess that's
Martin.
Martin, do you shave?
Huh?
Do you shave with a razor?
Well, I've heard of them.
I mean,
look at his face.
He's only 12 years old.
He looks young as hell, doesn't he?
Puberty hasn't hit him yet.
What are we talking about? Our balls? Do we shave our balls?
Oh, is that what we're
Did I miss
talking
something?
Well, I can tell you two don't. You got fucking beards. But
Smokesteve's wife is disappointed.
Why don't we get this comes on? Sorry for the language. Sorry.
Which cunt?
Your mum.
Jimmy Rizzo?
Your mum. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the back chat if you want to view it yourself, Steve. You'll see.
Man?
Let's see what he's got to say.
Let him in.
Let's check out Welshman.
That's crazy, this video.
All right, we're gonna check out Welshman's.
Why is it crazy?
Where am I?
Because literally, I've just snipped it from his live stream, and 1 minute he's just talking away, and the next minute this guy just comes in to lens, phlegms over his face, and you can see all the phlegm, which doesn't look like phlegm, all over his face and everything.
Is it Jim gets ass salted with body fluids?
Yeah.
All right.
I had to change the title because they age restricted it when I put degenerates down.
Oh, you guys can see this? Full screen?
Oh, it's the wrong one, is it? How long is that video?
41 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
All right, here we go.
Walking away. Bad man. Follow it. Bad man. Dirty little cunt. Dirty smack. Get that fucking junk. Hold this fucking. No, leave it. No, Jim. Go, Jim. No, Jim. Jim, you attacked us. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, bro. You dirty junkie. You dirty cunt. Fuck off, bro. You go, bro. Chill out. Fuck off. What do you mean? Why are you fucking...
Yeah, that's the end.
Get him. Pushing me. He's in, bro. He's come straight in his face. It's all on camera. He's coming straight. Yeah, I'm fine.
What are we looking at here?
Well, looking at the tolerant left, phlegming over someone with a different political opinion. Having a different opinion to drag time is seen that, like, you deserve to be spat at. So that's what happens. Basically, a guy walked down the street, seen Jim, that was at the protest like an hour earlier, and just went straight up to him, spat in his face, and that's what you got.
Yeah, it looks like he should have just knocked the fucking guy out, dude.
He's been arrested for affray. Serious charge in the UK, affray.
Yeah, it's spit in the guy's face. That fucking.
I don't know about the other guy, but my mate's been arrested for affray.
Affray's worse. Affray's worse than GBH, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Affray.
I'll have to look it up, but it's a very serious charge.
It's like disturbing the peace or something like that. It's
worse than that.
Than just attacking one person. It's like causing a disturbance. It's like a big it's.
It needs 2 or more people affray. So I don't know. They only nicked 1 person, I believe. So I don't think it's going to stick up. It's going to be dropped down. But as you can see, he was attacked, and then he was disgusted. Obviously.
Yeah, he should have clocked that dude right in the fucking face.
Yeah, he just pushed him down.
Affray is like one down from causing a riot, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a better description.
Christ Almighty.
And you can see what he was doing. He was just having a laugh on his live stream with his mates. He's got a cameraman, see, and
they hate you guys over there.
Oh yeah, they fucking hate us.
They hate you, Welshmen. Like you are the enemy for pointing things out.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes, like half hour earlier, a mainstream media journalist pushed him twice, looking for a reaction off him. I've got that, and I've put that on there as well.
All right, let's.
He's looking not to get.
Topple trying to get brownie points.
Let's look at the conversation going on here in the chat. My lady is shocked. I had told her that you felt this way before. I remembered it.
I have. I've expressed my. I won't change my opinion.
Yeah, it was 2.5 years ago, and I was like, "Wow, you're very much cut from the left, but yet this issue is different for you."
Am I cut from the left? Am I cut from the left?
You're a classic liberal from the 90s. That's where you are. You're a classic liberal from the 90s. You believe in marriage between a woman and a man, which is correct and proper for a classic liberal from the 90s.
Maybe I am a liberal from the left. Maybe from the
you're
liberal from the left.
Yeah, but you're not that crazy left on this issue. You're where you should be on that issue back in the day.
I think of myself as 50% of the time liberals hate me, and 50% of the time conservatives hate me, and that's exactly where I would like to be. I don't choose to be that way. That's just the way that it ends up, and I'm fine with it.
Would the description saying old school liberal be correct then? Something like that. I don't know.
I feel like in the 90s I was more Republican, so I don't know.
Yeah, but on this subject, I think you are. You're where you should be.
Well, I don't know. Dixie Democrats were a whole nother ball game, but he's not. He might be old school Republican.
Yeah, I probably would agree with that more, actually.
Yeah, but liberals weren't this left before, were they?
But what am I left on?
What do you?
So that's a question that I pose a lot of times to people.
Okay.
And they never have it. Never have an answer for me.
Okay, so I'll ask you a couple of questions.
Why am I left?
Okay, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Yeah, okay. They're pretty simple ones as well. Do you believe in open borders?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Do you believe that migration into America should be lowered?
No. No, I think we got enough immigrants. I'll let the conservatives do the dirty work for me on that one.
Yeah, well, immigration's a good stone to say whether you're. But you think? Do you think immigration should be controlled lower down though? Do you think this?
I think you
do you
picked
think
the wrong subject.
Okay, what other subject then? Would Medicare?
This is your answer.
All right. So do you believe in Medicare for all?
I mean, at a certain time in our economical history, I think it would have been a appropriate decision to make. But when it was made, no, I do not think we were in the time to be doing it. We have to be, extremely high in our outflow of how much money we have to how much debt we have, and this is not the time.
Okay, and your views on the last 5 wars in the last 20 years?
Oh, jeez.
How about the most recent proxy war?
Oh yeah, forgot about that
Ukraine?
Huh?
With Ukraine?
Yeah.
I think we're handling it fairly well. Fairly well.
Sorry, I had to digest that a little bit.
Yeah, fairly well.
Wow.
I think that supplying them with the
weapons,
planes,
the planes would probably be a step too far.
Oh,
besides that, funding them with the money that I'm not too upset with the way that's been handled up to this point.
So Bradley fighting vehicle, okay, small gun, but M1 Abrams, no good, big gun?
They got the Abrams, or they're getting them, but it'll take a year, and it'll take them a year to train them to run them. So
I said this before, and I think that we are smart by being considered as the world police. And I think that it helps.
Man.
I think that it helps. Well, hold on. Let me say my point. I think it helps financially because we have Kentucky Fried Chickens and McDonald's on the street corners of Hiroshima, and we don't have there's no Russian restaurants that are franchises. There's no British restaurants that are franchises here in the United States, and that's only because it's not because our Big Macs are better tasting than some fish and chips that come from Britain. It's only because of the perception of the United States has over the rest of the world. And I think that there's some magic recipe to being the world police and to being,
Right. Okay. I might offend some people here, but let's get a couple of things pretty straight, right? The rest of the world pretty much dislike the British, but they fucking hate the Americans. You're not the police of the world. You're the fucking warmongers of the world. Right, and the last 20 years you should have that opinion rather than that we're superior and we're the police of the world and everyone should look up to us, because the world fucking don't look up to you. All right, and it's not you as a people.
Tell me this, Based. How many American franchise fast food restaurants do you have in your area? Like, do you have a McDonald's? Do you have McDonald's?
But no, I didn't even talk about McDonald's.
I know, but
you were talking about it's great that America are the police. You were talking about America was great that they were the police of the world. It was the most. It's the most retarded. That's the most retarded. That's the most retarded comment I've actually ever heard come out of your mouth. And then you switched it. You switched it to franchises. You switched it to franchises. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy switch.
You tell me why you guys go and line up to go see American movies. Is it because they're better?
I don't go line up to movies. I don't watch movies.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the rest of the people that live around you.
Yeah, but Aphid, our McDonald's and Tom Cruise is not not the best we have to offer.
Yeah, but don't forget we're the police of the world, and we have worldwide franchises. We have worldwide franchises all over the world. You can get a McDonald's in Timbuktu, you can get it in Cuba. Amazing. You're not in
Why?
Cuba, actually.
Why?
One of the only countries
Why
in
is
North
that?
Korea.
Why is that? Tell me why.
But that's nothing even to be like proud about anyway. But the point I reacted. I reacted to your police. Your policing the world.
Better than UK.
The only thing the Americans have done to the world in the last 20 years is fucking destroy it with war and proxy war, one after each other.
Why does the rest of the world want to fund us and not fund you? Tell me that.
The rest of the world disdain the Americans, and it is the government.
Why do they want to put their money in us for us to succeed and not you? Tell me why. Why?
But I haven't reacted off this franchise business.
Cheap burgers?
I reacted off your nonsense policing the world. It's great that we police the world. It's the worst thing for the world is for you lot to police the world. Just look at recent history, for fuck's sake.
it's not good for the rest of the world, Base, but it's good for us.
Based Welshman, so you just said the world hates Americans. How does the world feel about Russia?
Well, the Western world hate Russia as a whole at the moment.
So who's hated more? I mean, we're fighting a proxy war, quote unquote, to help a country that's being invaded, which is essentially we're taking upon ourselves.
Traditionally, the Americans. The Americans are the most hated, but obviously Russia are trying to get that crown at the moment, and between the propaganda and the Russians themselves, they're doing a good job.
I think you severely underestimate the amount of American jeans, American watches, phones, American food,
watches,
American everything, American
watches.
What does that have to do with being the police of the world?
Yeah.
Why are they so popular? Why is?
But that's not even why I reacted. I reacted from your original comment.
Michael Jackson the most recognized person in the world? Why
Don't forget.
Tiger Woods one of the most recognized sports figures in the world? Why is the movies? All our sports figures, all our movie. Why?
I know it's difficult for Americans to understand, but there are other people, sports people in the world that aren't American. You know, they're from South America, they're from Europe, they're from Asia. You know, there are sporting celebrities that aren't American. I know it's difficult for someone who only watches American sports.
Hey, tell me this, Base. You go door to door in America, and you ask, what is the most popular South American sports figure in the world? And then you go to, let's say, Timbuktu, and you go ask how many American sports figures, authors, actors, food, everything they can.
You know what they'll say in Timbuktu? They'd say Lionel fucking Messi, the most famous footballer in the world. That's all they'd say. Lionel fucking Messi.
Okay, there's nobody in America that's going to mention one single person from South Africa. Not one single person.
Yeah, but that's but if I asked 100 Americans where Italy was, they wouldn't have a clue, and the majority of them would say somewhere like Asia. So
no. Americans know one thing: the shape of Italy. It's a boot, baby.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said Italy. I should have said Hungary. Sorry.
I think it's completely. Okay, I think it's completely irrelevant.
It's not. Okay, let me give you some numbers. Only 9% of Americans own a passport.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn right, because our country is so awesome.
You've got everything. I know it's massive. You've got everything, but I'd still want to leave my country just to like visit the world, because there's more to the world than America. You know.
Look, but Base, I'm not saying I'm not saying I put myself on more of a pedestal than you, because I was, you know, my parents, you know, had intercourse, and my sperm my dad's sperm fetal her egg, and I was born here in the United States.
Where are we going?
Right?
Where are we
I'm
going?
not any different than anybody else that's in the rest of the world. What I'm saying is, if you ask any person in the rest of the world, like if they know Americans, and they list the Americans that they know, and you go in America and you go across the whole world and you list how many people they know in the rest of the world, America is going to be so high up on the list, it's not even going to be funny. Why is that? Why is that?
Why would someone from Timbuktu? Why would someone from Timbuktu know sports people from America? They wouldn't.
Why are our actors better? Are our sports figures better? Are our food better?
They're not. They're not.
Hold on. The reason that we're put on
God.
the reason that people know this is because we are the world police, and because we are put on this pedestal as far as the rest of the world is concerned.
Yeah, but you were proud of that. I'm not denying it, but you're proud of it.
I show no signs of being proud of it. I'm just telling you facts.
Yeah, you are. You said it's good. It's great that we're the world's police.
I never said it was great. I said that it's important if we want to succeed, and we want to keep it the stature that we're in.
Well, what did he say, Topple? What did he say?
We step back.
He's stepping back now. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I never step back at all. I never step back at all. I said that if America wants to be where they are right now, then I think that the recipe for that success is that we do need to be that world police. We do need to show the rest of the world that you do not mess with America.
This is the problems with the Americans. They just never learn.
Well, wait. How about this? If you mess with somebody in the European Union or adjacent to it, then we will then defend you like you are our own, right? Because we're part of NATO.
If you agree with us, we're gonna fight for you.
Well, last time I checked, down a Turkish jet 2 years ago. We just sat on our hands. Are they part of NATO? Are they part of NATO?
Topple, sort your sound out, mate.
My sound.
Yeah,
it's okay. So he's saying about the Turkish jet that got shot down 2 years ago. So yeah.
I honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I don't think that most Americans think of Turkey as being part of NATO.
Well, it's very important actually because that's where we keep our nukes.
Got nukes there.
And that's to keep Russia in base, supposedly.
Yeah, but the Americans and NATO haven't been surrounding Russia, have they? No, they've just got missiles pointing from literally all angles.
Yeah, but let's not forget, it was Russia that started this.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yes.
Can you imagine the Americans being happy 70 miles off the Florida coast with nuclear missiles pointed at them? I tell you what, they wouldn't have put up with it. 1962 February, and that's the reality there, isn't it? But Russia have got nuclear missiles pointed from the Far East all the way through to Europe.
So what are you saying? Who started this Ukraine conflict then, if it wasn't an invasion by Russia?
Okay, so in 2014 it all kicked off. And if you want to Google some facts, the Polish took in 2 million Ukrainian refugees in 2014.
2 million?
2 million. Just give you context. They're taking 4 million at the moment. Right? So they took a fucking lot in 2014. And the reason why they took that many in 2014 because they were at war. But the Ukrainians was bombing Ukraine. And you didn't fucking read about that.
Oh, we did. At least I did.
But you get my drift. It didn't start last year.
Yes. And?
Well, you asked when it started. You were saying...
No, I'm asking who started it if it wasn't Russia. Other people said...
Well, if you look back in 2014, then you would say the Russian government were bombing Ukrainian nationals who were Russian speakers in Ukraine. So, I don't know, what would you say?
That they were bombing a sovereign country because they were bombing the Ukraine.
They were bombing their own country.
Is that what the facts are?
Well, what Ukraine was doing, it was bombing like Donbass and stuff, and Donbass was part of Ukraine. But because they were Ukrainian nationals, but Russian supported or Russian speakers, which is about 30% of Ukraine anyway. So, I mean, the conflict started, but yeah, by a foreign country. I suppose Ukrainians were just killing and bombing themselves before that.
So then your conviction is that Russia was defending the Russian-speaking Ukrainians from Ukraine attacking Russian speakers? Is that your conviction?
Well, no, that's what Russia would be saying, wouldn't they?
Seemingly.
Yeah, I mean, because if Ukraine, the government, is bombing Ukraine, the land, or a certain part of the land, with Ukrainian speakers, with Ukrainian nationals in it, and then Russia come in to take that area over, yeah, you would say, yeah, they were defending the Russian-speaking Ukrainians there.
Again, though, their initial invasion didn't appear to have anything to do with that. It seemed to have more to do with taking over Ukraine and returning it to the Soviet Union and recreating the Soviet Union. Wouldn't you think that's Putin's grand plan in this whole thing?
Well, if Putin wanted to take over Ukraine, he could have done it in like a week, and he could have just bombed the shit out of it. He could have bombed the shit out of the infrastructure, he could have bombed the shit out of the power stations, the dams, he could have all the electric, all the media, and he could do it with all missiles remotely. Wouldn't even need to have done it.
Right.
Like the Allies done it in the Iraq wars. No difference.
One would think that he would want to maintain some level of civility in that these people are supposedly going to become Russian citizens.
Yeah, but he hasn't changed his tactics in a year. He has targeted infrastructure now. He started targeting about 6 months ago, didn't he? He started targeting infrastructure, but not like destroying or he just like certain places where it's kicking off.
It's the escalation of war, my man. It's only going to get worse. You know that.
So we've had reports of 300,000 deaths, right? And there seems to be more Ukrainians. Whether it is or not, it doesn't matter. 150,000, 200,000. A generation of men gone. Can't be replaced. They're all gone.
So, what say everybody? Do you think the United States should be putting money towards this cause? I mean, we're a huge financial contributor. Topple says no. You say yes. I know. You guys are almost polar opposites on this one.
Yeah. Rights, maybe low funding, no weapons. No weapons won't good.
Now there's a video on YouTube that goes. It's about 7 months old. It's driving around the worst areas of Philadelphia, and my God Almighty, you have not seen a place like this.
Yeah.
In America, Jesus, it's shocking. There's people.
There's memes going around where they're saying Ukraine, and then the meme underneath said no, like Philadelphia. That's like the meme they're doing. Have you seen that?
Right. So these aphid in your town too, your zone, it's shit. There's fucking gangs everywhere. Dude, you go into the wrong neighborhood, you lose your truck, you might lose your life. And yet we're shipping all this dough over there. What about us? Well, what about you guys?
What about East Palestine? What about East Palestine?
East Palestine? Yeah. Oh wait, Ohio or actually Palestine?
You're one of those tolerant liberals because they're Republican voters. Fuck them.
No, I thought you meant actual Palestine. Now you're talking about Ohio. So sorry,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, East Palestine. All the money is outrageous. They should be looking after America's fucked. You like you said, I've seen the memes. We've seen it, and they're saying like Ukraine, and they go, "Oh no, it's Detroit. It's Detroit," and you're like, "Oh fucking hell, looks like a war zone."
Ultimate, have you seen the thing where it's about an attack on the Amish? Have you seen that?
The attack on what?
The world.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Marty, repeat yourself. Repeat yourself.
Every time he talks, we talk.
I love Marty.
Communication.
Marty.
Jimmy, sort your mic out, mate, and just speak up a bit.
Marty's the best.
Yeah, it's something to do with like attacking the Amish because they're self-sufficient. Have you heard that?
The Amish. The Amish.
Oh yeah, there is a big conspiracy saying that because the Amish didn't get involved in the old experimental snake bite,
Yeah.
that they needed a bit of a spike to get them knocked off a little bit. That's what the conspiracy is. It's a total rabbit hole of craziness. Yeah, so.
More to do with the fact that they're self-sufficient and they live off the land, and that whole area of land now has been like damaged, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have heard of that, but I think it's a big conspiracy. That I don't think that they. I mean, what's the odds they're going to fucking do a train in the same spot? I know they could plan it, like What's that noise, man?
It's Smokesteve. He's got a generator. He's got
a generator. He's got a exhaust fan on it.
Exhaust fan.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna go on fucking eBay now and get a dimmer. And they'll only be about $10, and hopefully
yeah,
you'll
but
get one.
those won't work for this. This thing's big. It's serious. It's.
How many watts is it?
Here, I'll shut it. It's there. How's that?
Yeah, but how big is it, like neck-wise? Is it like 10 inches, 8 inches?
Well, it's not that big, no.
Yeah, well.
What are we talking about? Wait, where are we going with this?
Oh, here we go. I know. Yeah, I get a fan controller now, man.
How's that? Is it better with the door shut?
Yeah.
Looks just got an operation going on over there. He don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I mean it's a fan, it's a door, it's a fan and a door. There's no lights. See, the smoke's already building up. I need my fan. It's getting too smoky in here.
Fuck, hell.
I gotta have this thing, man. It's always been part of the pub. Everyone's used to the sound, I hope. It only comes up when I mute it and then unmute it. Everyone's like, whoa, it was so quiet. And then it comes back. What's Martin doing? Painting?
Rolling a blunt.
I mean, he's been rolling this thing for like fucking 20 minutes over there.
He's an expert.
The fuck is that?
Oh, he's selling.
Jesus.
He's doing crochet.
Look at the collar on that hood. That is nice.
Martin with green on. It's such a different color for you, Martin.
Sharp. That wallpaper is gold, baby.
It is.
I love it. Nice place.
I didn't sign up for this.
Well, you didn't sign up for anything, really. I mean, that's the thing. It's the pub. Anything goes. Almost anything.
Just not some guy crapping and coming at the same time.
was about to say, is that where Steven got that old?
Well, him and now the new guy that just was here.
What was that all about, Steve?
What?
Earlier. What was that? You need to get on top of that, mate.
What, Captain? What, with the gay sex thing, or what?
Oh, stuff like that going on. That was upsetting.
I appreciate your opinion on that, and I understand it's upsetting. Nobody wants to see a grown man shitting and ejaculating at the same time, and I do apologize. And I will make attempts not to feature that on the pub in the future, but on occasion there will be butt stuff and penises.
I just felt I needed to bring it up. That you need to get on top
Dude.
of it. You know, you can't.
Was I mean, technically, it's not gay unless there's two men involved.
Yeah.
He was just self-pleasuring, I think that's what he described it.
Martin, I've got a small army of empties over here, a bottle of rum which I've had more than a few tugs. This might be my third or fourth joint, along with various other bongs, bowls, vapes, and every other fucking thing you can imagine. So if the occasional gay sex act, fecal thing gets through, I apologize. My apologies.
That's a Bud Light.
I do apologize for it. And I will make all attempts not to have it happen in the future.
About these guys, I just don't want them to feel poorly. It made me, it gave me a.
Yeah, there's been worse, man. Aphid, you've seen some of the worst.
I bet he has.
That stuff gets me excited, though.
Man, it's almost like people save up the worst in human creation of porn and then save it for the 5 seconds they get on a live stream. It's awesome. But not awesome.
I enjoyed it.
It is what it is.
I mean, it's cool.
Was it cool?
It's cool. It was cool.
Alright. What are you doing?
Me?
Are you rolling a joint too? Is everyone rolling joints? Aphid?
No. My hands are free.
Yeah, it looked like you were calling it.
No, my earphones finally died. They said I heard this voice say goodbye, and I had to swap over to my headphones.
Oh, headphones are way better. Are those Raycon earphones? Those little earbuds you have?
These are no, these are just cheap JLab earbuds.
Those are all right.
They last about 3 hours apparently.
Raycon's a good name. If you're looking for one in the like $50 to $75, they last 8 hours. Those are good ones.
That's my go-to about that amount.
You don't have to get the super expensive ones, I don't think.
Base fall asleep?
No, I'm here.
He just came back.
Nobody said anything about jabs.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. We hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. What was your thing you were just saying? Nobody said what about what, Aphid?
Jabs. Base likes jab talk, so nobody said anything about jabs. So
Steve, I've got to come out and come back in. I've got an echo.
Yes.
I'm in, Aphid. I'm in.
Jab talk? I thought he was saying...
What you got?
I thought he was saying Jazz, who's like...
Come on, let's go.
jab. Everybody likes to jab talk.
Jab it up, Aphid.
What the fuck are we talking now?
I got no jabs.
Fighting
No
words?
jab talk.
Are we talking about fighting words?
No, like fucking the immunization, the COVID vaccine, jabs.
Why the fuck are we gonna go there?
Well, he can't help it.
Just to give some balance, I'm 5 up with a couple of boosters. I feel all right. I've lost a bit of weight. I've got some skin problems, but apart from that, I think Pfizer and all the other ones are excellent.
And that it would be the opposite of what he is actually doing.
I'm doing it for YouTube. I'm doing it for your channel.
You don't.
It's amazing.
No, you got 0. Marty, 0. Come on, Marty. Not nothing, dude. Not one.
No jab.
Pure Bloods on the bottom level, boys.
Big up, Pure Bloods.
I'll put all the Brits, the Pure Bloods. Now, top 11, you had number 1 and number 2.
Yes.
Same as me over here, but
I was forced.
Well, you had a sick relative, I think, at the time you had alluded to that you really wanted to see in the hospital.
Look, it's not about because I understand why people got it. It was a crazy time and there was a lot of pressure.
There you go.
So many angles. It's crazy.
That's great, Base. Seriously, I wouldn't think you would have that opinion.
No, seriously, man. I mean,
and like I alluded to, Welshie, Topple over there, 215, had a sick relative that they wouldn't let him go see in the hospital unless he was jabbed. So it was like, get jabbed or no visitations, dude.
I didn't see that relative. I didn't see that relative for 2 years. So it's not a case of like, but I had exactly the same thing. And I do understand. It affected my family. It affected me. The family unit are fine with me now, but everyone either disowned me or totally disagreed with. Had nothing to do with me basically during that period because some of them, not all of them, but yeah, because it was awful. It was awful for a lot of people. So I get why people ended up like being coerced, blackmailed through job and family, and Granny and Mr. Patel down the road in the corner shop. I get it. I just think it's awful that we all have to go through it.
Yeah, this is true. I'm just going to answer Cup of Tea's question. Freedom of choice. That's what I think.
I don't know. In the past streams, people were kind of knocking on people for not being jabbed.
Not here.
Okay.
Wait, here? You can imply.
You all thought I was not all of you, and I get it. And the sad thing about it all is that a lot of what we were told 2-3 years ago have come true.
Yes. What?
The more times you take that thing, it seems to affect your immune system after like the third one. Definitely, and that's evidence coming through recently. They were saying that 2 years ago.
Well,
just so much is coming through.
The biggest talk here was believing in the science.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with believing in the science. And when you think it's a real global epidemic, you try to do the best you can. But once things seemed to cool off a little and everybody was fucking getting it, then it was obvious to me that it was like, okay, game is winding down on this thing.
I can't say it anymore that Omicron was the world's natural vaccine. It was the best thing. It's what destroyed Bill Gates, and it destroyed their current narrative. Omicron done that.
Well, on top of that, an interesting thing that if you listen to the left-wing media during the transition that China made, when China went with removing the full lockdown policy, there were reports that were saying there's major fears of these areas that have been in full lockdown that the people have had zero exposure.
Yeah.
And that could be really problematic and have higher death levels than as if they would have just been allowed to live life. So these extreme lockdowns to prevent exposure ended up having a more detrimental effect in the long run,
Yep.
which is completely logical.
And then China changed it a couple of months ago, didn't they, Steve? And a lot of people did catch it in China. But like over a couple of weeks, it just balanced out. It was like a natural jib jab.
Yeah, their policy was absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
People, they had to set up suicide nets and shit. People were trying to kill themselves on high buildings. Is really crazy, man.
They were starving to death. And Australia were crazy. They wouldn't even let in their own citizens. There wasn't even quarantine for like a high percentage of New Zealand's thing. They just left their own nation people just dotted around the world, stuck.
And who was the tennis player that wasn't allowed to play?
Novak Djokovic.
That's it. Yeah, ridiculous.
He's brilliant, man. He's brilliant. He is my new sort of hero when it comes to.
He's a fucking legend, isn't he?
Yeah, during that period, he kept to his morals. He kept true to his words. He's literally affected his career over it. He could have smashed. Sorry,
Aphid, what's your thoughts on Novak's? For taking, he could have went to the Australian Open and more or less won it and made millions.
I respect him more than Drone Tech.
Okay. How so? How so? Go ahead, explain.
Because he stood by, he didn't cave to. Yeah, exactly. He didn't cave to what would make him more money. He stood by what he thought and he went with it.
Yeah, and it did really affect his chances of being the all-time, champion tennis player. Like, he could win more trophies than anyone else.
He was about to win the most Grand Slams ever, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he gave that up.
He didn't play in Wimbledon either, did he? He wasn't welcome at Wimbledon. Yeah. He wasn't welcome anywhere. And when interviewed, he articulated himself very, very, very well. He said, I've trained all my life, and I don't want to stick anything in me that even at a minute percent. He didn't say it like I said it, just saying. He said it better than I said it. But he said, I just don't want to risk, and I'm a healthy person. I'm happy to take all the tests.
He's like one of the most elite athletes in the world. He's got he's got like a team of people that feeding and training. And, like he knows his body better than other people. And like he went, no, I'm not. I don't think this is right for me. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
And he got kicked out of doing stuff.
I mean, it was world news, wasn't it? I mean, it was like, let's blame a tennis player for all the world's problems, because for some reason he's going to be so controlled. I mean, he was happy to be basically under house arrest for like basically the whole time he was there, wasn't he? He said, I'll submit to basically everything apart from taking an experimental jib.
Yeah, well, I mean, he also had the $200 million plus bank account to back him up, so he didn't really have to worry.
It's not about the money. He wants to be the all-time winner of majors. That's what. Yeah,
but I don't mean it's about the money, but I mean he had that financial backing to say, fuck you, I don't want to do it. Whereas if it was some young, hungry kid who was absolutely awesome at tennis, he might have to think twice about that paycheck. But certainly for this guy, fuck no. He didn't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, so he was in a position where he could do it.
Correct.
but he took a big price, because the stick he got, even fellow, like Nadal said, cursed him out. They all cursed him out. And the worst thing about it all, have you seen the amount of tennis players that have had problems very recently? That a lot of them are collapsing and all clutching their fucking hearts. And you're thinking they're world class athletes. What's the common denominator?
Jab?
I'm afraid it is, lads. I really am afraid it is.
I don't know. That's hard to... Until I see some definitive evidence of it, it seems just like...
I can get you stuff up now, like a South African marathon. Like 70 odd went to hospital.
Hey, South African marathon, dude? How the hell do I know what happened down yonder in South Africa?
Everyone said it was the temperature, but I checked the temperature and it was 26 degrees during that period. I mean,
all right, Marty's got something. Roll, Mart.
The point is, it's got to be discussed. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know if I don't know if it's right that everyone, loads of people are dying from the jabs. I don't know if that's true. It might be completely wrong. But the point is, we're not even allowed to discuss it. That's weird.
Oh, we can discuss it here.
Well,
but only here, not on mainstream media.
But on mainstream, like, it's not allowed to be discussed, and that's a really weird thing. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is it?
I don't know. It's funny. Like, are they going to just look at you and say, well, more people would have died with COVID, so those few that died are just...
Elite athletes.
It's like what do they call it? Collateral damage from the vaccine?
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you sound like a fucking general in the First World War. Sending
remember, don't forget, Steve, it had a 0.2 kill rate for under 50-year-olds. A 0.2 kill rate.
Jesus, I unplugged my headphones. Yes.
So I don't know if you heard that, Steve, but yeah, it's a very low death rate, right? 0.2%. So for advising kids, teenagers, anyone under 50 to get it is just it's just the risk benefit is not there for anyone under 50.
I'm going to eat, guys. All right, he's going to eat, guys. Always a pleasure.
He don't like it. He don't like what we need to talk about. Okay.
I think he's gonna go eat, guys.
He's talking about a salad earlier with his wife. I don't know what that means.
Salad?
Yeah, he was going to toss in salad, so I don't know.
Oh my God!
What?
Didn't expect you to go there. Okay.
He said salad. Go back and rewind.
yeah, Topo. But with the family and stuff again, the worst thing about it, you didn't see him often anyway, did you? Because no one wanted to like meet each other anyway, so it was awful. It upset me, and it still upsets me. And it wouldn't have made much difference anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because if I had gone, then if someone had gone ill, they would have mostly said who could have given that anyway. You know what I mean? Whether I had the jab or not, it was horrid. The whole thing was just a dystopia, a fucking unreal sort of reality that was there, and horrid.
It was dumb, but there may have been some achievement in less spread of the virus.
No.
Amongst family groups first. How can you say no in hindsight with no...
Because the families were locked in together, Steve. It was the other way around.
No. What I'm talking about, like, let's say here, we have, like, my family group, which lives in multiple houses over 3 or 4 bordering towns, all within 20 miles. There were times when we said, Like, all right, we'll skip the barbecue this weekend, put it off because numbers were crazy right now.
Wait. Were you locked down for more than 2 weeks during that time period?
Locked down?
Contact with other people.
Well, that much I don't remember. I had to work because I'm an emergency employee, you're the same. Like, people need to have their basic means to live, so we have to work.
You honestly, the shot doesn't even stop the spread.
Exactly. So, Steve, right? So you were part of it. So you kept working during the thing.
I had to, yes.
Yeah, cool. Fair play to you. Lots of people did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like in construction, in engineering, in
trades.
A lot of trades.
Lots, yeah. It was only actually a small percentage of the population that actually got shut down. Most of the world carried on as normal.
Agreed, yes.
If you listen to the mainstream media, you'd think that the whole world had shut down. But probably 75%, 80% of the industry was actually still going on.
Yeah, I agree. What it turned out to be predominantly here was children who couldn't take care of themselves, like, I don't know, what's that, 7th grade and down, like, didn't go to school. One parent had to stay home for, like, 2 weeks, I think. Was that what it was, Topple?
No, they canceled school for the whole year and then half of the next
whole year? What the fuck?
That was fine. That's what we had.
Yeah, can I ask this question? Has anyone's children got the job?
No. Nope.
Good.
No, that's negative here.
I ain't got any kids, man. But they wouldn't have.
Well, I think that's the one good thing about that is that you know your kids are hopefully fit and healthy, and COVID really ain't going to affect a normal child. It's just not there.
Well, that's the reason she didn't get it, because she is fit and healthy, and I'm not fit and not quite healthy. So, like, my kiddos, like, she can beat anything. Me, on the other hand, I didn't know. So, yeah, it was out of fear. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get it, because the way they were talking was like, remember everyone was on a fucking ventilator? And I was like, what's a ventilator? What the fuck is that thing?
That's a death certificate, that is. Ventilator.
Right, the way they described it. I never even really heard of it before. But
like, in the past, I would bring up that I know doctors, or I know nurses, I know doctors, and they're not saying the same shit the news is saying. And I always got like, oh, I'm an idiot. And I'm like, I'm just listening to the people that are in the hospitals.
Right.
And like I said, I would never got the shot, but I wasn't forced to, but you know what I mean. There would be no way I would be able to do that.
Oh, look at Trigger.
You give me a coach. He's just leaning his head into me.
Trigger.
Wait, it's on the headphones. He can't. I got headphones on.
I think.
Which one's the dog?
He can't hear me.
Which one's a dog?
Hey, chicks, you can hear me. Hey, he's knackered.
That's a family member right there.
Oh yeah. Trigger, give me a kiss. Oh,
he's a good dog.
He's brilliant. Go on.
You're on the same page with us.
Yeah.
Dog.
I like dogs.
You'll know the love, and you would spend money. You do anything for them.
No, I love dogs, but it's not like tens of thousands of dollars, dude. That's crazy.
$3,000, but you wouldn't spend $3,000 to get your dog healthy again.
I don't have no dog. That's the reason.
There you go, Jack.
Topple, I spent £3,400 on his leg. He had to have his leg rebuilt.
That's ACL. Tear ACL on the dog.
Yeah, it was a laxating kneecap, basically.
Oh, or kneecap, yeah.
Yeah.
And you would do that because you love that dog to death.
Yeah, I was in a different financial situation then. I still would do it now, but I would have to end up borrowing money most probably. You know what I mean?
See, this guy would borrow money to get the job done.
Jab or job?
Job.
I thought you said jab done.
No, I spent like $3,500 on a back leg. His back leg was fucked.
You're crazy.
The thing is, it's perfect. His leg's perfect now. Yeah,
no, I mean, 3,500, dude. You could have invested that. You could have had like 9 or 10 grand now with that if you had put it in the right spot. But
You can't buy happiness.
you can.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, right.
You have
Whatever.
all the money in the world and you still won't be happy.
Marty, what do you say? Big spender on the dog?
Not spending money on the dog all day long.
You would?
Absolutely, you just said that.
Damn. All right. Well, I'm from the old school where it's like, all right, dog's sick. Time for a new dog, you know?
No. If the dog's old.
Horrible bastard, Steve.
Yeah. Like my dog. Look, yeah, my dog was young.
Young dog.
It fucked his leg up, and it was either money or he's basically a cripple. And I've seen other dogs that haven't had the operation done, and they're a mess. Basically they're cripples. They're not walking. They're in a pushchair and stuff. So it was the best thing I could have done, especially because his leg is fucking solid. I don't like the feel of it. This is all titanium, but he don't limp. He never limps. He just goes flat out.
It's pretty cool.
He still greets you when you get home. He always puts a smile on your face.
Steve would put a bullet in his fucking head.
No. I ain't gonna put the bullet in there, but I ain't exactly gonna, middle ground, Marty. Middle ground. Bullet.
A human to put a dog down is usually $600.
I'd sell my car. To,
600?
$600 to buy the dog.
That's high.
So you would put a bullet in your dog then?
I don't have a dog, so I don't have to worry about no bullet.
Oh my God! There you go.
Hence the reason. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if I was ever going to get a dog, I would get like a 10-year-old dog that was going to die in a year. That would be like I could give it a last like a year or two of good life where it just lays around, doesn't do anything. Maybe he walks around like maybe down to the beach or whatever, and then comes home and goes back to sleep. Perfect dog for me. There's a program for that. You adopt an elderly dog. It's awesome.
And then when you do that, you get emotionally love the dog, and then you hate yourself when the dog passes away.
Yeah, here you go then, lads. Have a look at that photo in the back chat there. Put that up and show them that. That was last weekend in Oxford.
Yeah, but the thing with the Topple, the thing I was just saying, it's good, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You give the dog a year of good life.
No. There's nothing wrong with your saying, but you will become too emotionally that it will hurt so bad when you have to put that dog down.
Well, otherwise the dog gets a crappy life, so...
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, even if you had a puppy, you would put the dog down if it cost more than $3,000?
Yeah, I mean, well, you just send him out to the range,
Spot trigger.
There he is. Looks good. He's kind of oversized for that bag.
Yeah, he is, but it was the biggest one I could get, and he just sits in it, kneels in it, like happy as fuck.
It's cute. What's up with the Volkswagen sweatshirt? What are you saying by that, Based?
Well, I was supposed to be a vehicle, wasn't I? That's why I had number plates on me.
All right, so just a random thing. It wasn't like you're a big fan of Volkswagen.
Oh yeah, that too.
Are you?
Yeah, I've got a split. I've got a splitty.
Is it because of their history, Volkswagen?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty into V-dubs. I've always been pretty into V-dubs, but this one was. I went to Argentina to get this one.
No kidding, huh?
A splitty means it's got windows.
So it's a VW bus with split windows?
Yes, it's a late split, a 64 split.
Split window in the front.
Yeah, safaris at the front.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Full camper interior in the back.
Yeah, I lived in Humboldt County, California for some years when I was younger. A lot of split windows out there. VW. I loved them.
Mine one got a Porsche in the back, mind you. Put a Porsche in the back of it years ago.
Porsche engine?
Yeah. Only an 1835, basically. It's all Polish parts, but in a flat floor.
Sounds epic, man.
Yeah.
Dude, how long does it take you to roll a joint? Oh my god.
Who, me?
Are you rolling cigarettes? Or are you rolling? What are you rolling? Juices?
I think he's giving you a sync. That means like F you.
Is that what that means over there?
He's doing what a lot of rollies do. They roll up like 5 and 10 at a time.
I don't know. Does that mean the same thing, right? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it a problem, man?
What are you drinking? What is that? Air? What are you having? A glass of air? What is that, Marty?
Yeah, it's just air.
It's like Spaceballs, the can of air.
Big fan of air.
And Topple, what the hell is that you keep slugging down?
It's iced tea.
Like 99-cent iced tea, half gallon?
Yeah.
The Cheapo Depot? Are you on call?
No.
You're not drinking booze?
No, I don't got shit to. I got shit to do tomorrow. I don't drink. You notice I only drink by the pool.
All right. So drinking season's coming up. You're waiting for like what? May, June?
My liver's on break. What?
You're really boring when you're not drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was told I'm very destructive when I drink. That's what I've been told. So.
What, do you just fall all over the place, or do you intentionally smash stuff?
No. By someone that used to be on the show, I was very destructive when I drank.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought you were very.
So it's better if I'm sober, right?
Yeah, you're pretty good. I mean, is it sunrise over there for you guys yet?
It's getting there.
Jesus Christ, it's already 12:09.
I think he's equally as annoying when he's sober, to be honest.
Oh, fuck. I get no love by you. Anybody here anymore. No love. You all hate me.
Attack. We gonna keep this thing going, or are you guys ready to run it down? Martin's rolling the never-ending joint. The never-ending story.
That better be the best joint in the world.
I mean, this thing's gonna be fucking a foot long, dude.
I'm gonna get out of here, lads.
All right,
nice one. Thanks for the chat and all that. It's been a good one.
It's been fun.
Or morning, should I say to you?
Yeah, I found out the new based one amongst you. Aphid, there's a church.
Yeah, I know, right? He is based when it comes to that.
Yeah, and you're mushy, right? It is more like the classic conservative. Because conservatives, have moved so much in the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah, but
so it is mush of it.
He's got a liberal mind.
He's full of
Yeah,
shit.
but not on that one, which is quite good.
That's the only one.
He's full of shit.
No, he's not full of shit. He's not full of shit.
Not on that subject. He was pretty standoutish. I wasn't even if everything else he could sit back, but not on that.
You know what we got to define sometime, and really get into the weeds on it, is to define based. The word based. People use it so freewheeling now that somebody's based that it almost clouds the definition of based.
I've used it for over 7 years, that name as well.
It's in your name is the word based, but just when people say that's based, now you can have somebody who's liberal, who's conservative, or who's in between. Everyone can be based. Like,
because they're based on a subject, though, isn't they? And like you could say that just like as it's aphid and all that, because he's not based normally. You could say that's based as fuck
for him.
Yeah,
relative to him.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. So
and it might trigger him as well.
No, yeah, exactly. Right. Jesus.
I just don't find climate control being a top 10 issue in the world, but that's just me. So
interesting. That is fodder for the future, my brother.
Well, I gotta get a better mic so you guys can hear me.
Yeah, shit, man.
Get one of these little Samsung mics.
Hello?
Yeah. What's happened?
He unplugged himself.
Oh, right. Is my mic okay?
Yeah, your mic is great.
Fucking £6 on eBay.
I can hear everyone perfect now.
So, yeah, I know. It's this fucking fan.
He unplugged himself. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I touched my microphone and the whole thing muted. It's how great it is. Like, you touch it, it mutes. It's fucking horrible.
No, I got to get a good place because I don't have a quiet room. That's the problem. So, but when I'm by the pool, I'm all by myself. I'm good. So it's almost that time again.
There you go. All right, boys, we're gonna end this bad boy. It's been fun. Thanks for being here.
Good seeing you, Martin.
It's been a pleasure. It's been
Peace out, everybody.
Later, Smoke.
See you, man.
And later.
Based, everybody. Goodbye.
Awesome.
See you, dude. You can stay there. I might do a quick tune.
What, just for me, Steve?
Yeah, there you go.